Yes, good people. Appreciate you all finding the time to join me this particular morning for the Blue Morning Show. And today, specifically, we're addressing news items and also review Chelsea's home 2-1 win against Crystal Palace. And by the way, it's a London derby, but I know a lot of people don't say it that way. You can say because of the difference in sizes between the two clubs. Chelsea, a much bigger club than Crystal Palace. But that's by the way, I do hope you're all doing well. And I sincerely do mean that. And I'm your host, Kachila. Sit back, relax, and let's get into the show. Yes, people, big up to all of you. Once again, I do hope you're all doing well. And thank you for those of you following the show on Instagram and those of you following the show on X, formerly known as Twitter, and Facebook. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for joining this particular morning. And I'm going to say hello to those of you in the chat without wasting much of your time. We have Nehemiah, follow away there. Oscar is in the house and Tiger Beast in the house, brother. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. And it says, I never thought I'd like that Ukrainian. But he's done me proud. He's an excellent player, in my opinion. I've always known that, and I haven't given up on him. I've always called for the manager to give him consistent game time. That's all he needs to come good. Give me 1 second here. And then he's currently showing that the more he gets to play, the better he do. And Ty is in the house. Big up to you, Ty. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. You know what to do. When I see it, I know what to do. Also, Gusto was amazing. Let's see. Come on, Chelsea and Joshua Dan. I've seen you've responded with regards to what option you prefer. What I sent you, I had to choose Remedy. No, Western Union, the process is taking too long. So, Remedy, I'll get it done for you today. Hello to you too, Constantine Dante. You missed the shows yesterday. I hope you're doing well. But more importantly, I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. Here's to you, my brother. Let's see. Constantine Dante is in the house. And my brother Joshua Dan from Rwanda is also in the house. Crystal Palace were impressionable by Chelsea last night. The Chelsea FC for life. We did well, and they actually came out swinging. They didn't sit back. Yep, they came out swinging. They wanted to win the game. And Smoky Signal, big up on my way. Smoky Signal is on. I think he joined on X. I appreciate you joining, brother. I can't wait to see you on the panel too. Let's talk about the game. And my bro to be from the medieval land. Let me say it again. To be go. Brother, nice to see you. I appreciate you finding time to join. I hope you're doing well. Dante out. Yeah, use the hashtag there. Hello, everyone. Hello to you too. I love the icon of my name, Coach. Looks amazing. Great touch. Thank you so much. You're at the gold level right now. You see the colors differ for each member, but I'm glad you like it. The captain of the house, and we have to be go. I like that one. He has to pay you. If not, if he doesn't pay you, I will stop calling him to be gold. But that's right away. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show. And quickly, before we continue, I want to appeal to those of you who are watching, but for one reason or the other, you're not able to participate in the chat. Just know that we sincerely do appreciate you. And that's because you watching alone does go a long way. So thank you, and thank you so much. But we want to ask you for one more favor, one tiny beady favor, which is to take a second, drop a like on the stream for us. And that's because the more likes we're gonna the more the YouTube algorithm will be triggered and help us push the stream to more people who'd be interested in this particular topic. We're 9 minutes into the show and we have 10 likes already, but I believe we should be doing better than that. Let's see. Big up to you too, Bobby. Hope to see you on the panel soon. Smoke is Bobby. Yeah, we were hosting this year. Okay, we were hosting this year. So I had a busy long day. Oh, your family hosting the other family members. I know how busy that can be. When I was in Jersey, I used to drive. I think how many minutes to Philadelphia to go pick up a family member who we do it turn by turn. The following year, someone else does that. But yeah, let's see what else we have here. Eugene is in the house. Eugene, I appreciate you joining it. And Newman Ni Aule, nice to see you. Hello to you too. I appreciate you joining. Awful performance. I'll take awful performance and the win. And for me, it wasn't awful. Yep, there were shaky moments, but we started the game very well. It wasn't, you can say, we didn't play sustainably well. You can say, we took our foot off the pedal sometime. Let's say overall it was just a shaky performance, but I wouldn't call it an awful performance, in my opinion. They were a good size. They were well rehearsed than we are. They beat Manchester City, remember, or they drew actually and nearly beat them. Big up Phil Sims, coach, and everyone. It's a great win. That's how I see it. For me, not I wouldn't go to the extent of saying an awful performance. We missed chances as usual. Nothing new there. Other than that, I'd say we played well. Shaky moments are from some individuals. And remember, that's not the full strength of Chelsea. I get it. We have one of our best players back in Nkunku, and wow, Gusto looked like uh, you can say not. Have always known that's a good player in him, but yesterday, in my opinion, was one of his best games for Chelsea Football Club. He led by example. He played like a leader. Palace were the better team. However, we scrapped a win like United. The season, I don't care how we play. All I want to do is to get a win. For me, we did well. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to say we did great, but we did well. And let's see what else we have here. Greetings from Ghana. Nice to see you. Ni, that's a typical Ghanaian name, my West African brother. I hope you're doing well. Penalty saved us. A deserved penalty. It wasn't like it was the referee was harsh on them. So his thing, I don't think I don't is it how the question is it how bad things have become for us Chelsea fans? Even when we win, we still find a way to like what's the language I'm looking for, to not appreciate that we've won a game. And hi to you too, the Chelsea boy at 1234. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. We actually played a petty compared to the last few games. Okay, let's see. Hey, hello to you too, Dante, and everyone. I hope you're doing well. A win is a win. Nothing much to talk about. That's how I see it. It doesn't matter how anybody sees it. We won. We deserved that penalty, in my opinion. Chelsea transfer. Not so much. We'll have one news item to address. Constantine Dante is in the house. This is not Chelsea. Yeah, we agree. We're not as good as we used to be, but we'll get there with time. So I'm tired of complaining about everything. We won, we won. Gusto was consistent. The referee also gave a pretty consistent and good performance overall. Yeah, that's how I see it. We did well enough to win the game. Crystal Palace well rehearsed and also more of a unit than we are. We're not even close to being a unit. We're everywhere, and injuries hasn't helped. Dante, let's see what else we have here. I mean, we played pretty good. Yeah, I think I understood that was what you meant to say there. Compared to the last few games, yeah. And we started very well and could have scored more. Well, you can say up to 4 goals, but yeah, nothing new there. We missed quite a few too. I keep dropping the likes on the stream. 17 people and 14 likes. We should be doing better than that. Let's see. The first item we have lined up here. It's this one here. Talking about Chelsea have completed the deal to sign 17-year-old Senegalese midfielder Papi Duda De Jong, as revealed 2 weeks ago. Born in 2006, Papi will turn 18 in the summer, and he will become part of the Chelsea project. De Jong was at Stamford Bridge just 2 weeks ago. Yep, he was sitting in not the same role, but the same area with Kendrick Pies. Yep, I can recall that quite well. Gusto, man of the match easily, no question. He was excellent in the air. Really, he wasn't the tallest on the pitch. He was excellent in the air. Really tackling offensively, defensively. He was actually coming, drifting in and helping in the midfield area. And you don't need me to explain to you how the first goal went down. That delicious turn, him trying to find Nkunku, and the um the Crystal Palace defender slipped, and the ball eventually got to Nkunku, who also found. And how quickly he ran to the left hand side, even though he started to move on the right hand side. Nkunku mistimed. I think the after the slip of the Crystal Palace player, as Nkunku was controlled the ball, I didn't know Gusto how quickly he got to the left flank also to wait for the ball and put in that delicious cross on the carpet from Mykhailo Mudryk to tap in. That was to finish. That was excellent move from him, and I respect him so much for that. The only reason the team hasn't been playing well is because of chopping and changing, which, yeah, you could argue injuries has led to the manager chopping and changing even when not necessary. In my opinion, injuries to blame. However, the quality we have should be at least a bit beaten bottom half teams. That has always been an issue. Poch nearly uh, stuffed it up. Some changes, subs, but luckily, Palace didn't capitalize. I don't want to even look at those things, in all honesty. I'm going to come to the panel right away. I appreciate you, Bobby, finding the time to join the show. We won. And for me, would you say it was a deserved win for us, or would you say something that a lot of people are saying that we were lucky? We will get to we will speak about individual players one by one. But I know you heard my question now, Bobby, if you're there, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, big up, coach. Yeah, it's good to enjoy a win, a deserved win. I don't know what people are saying that Chelsea were lucky to win. I don't think so. I think we played very well, and I think the win was deserved. It really was. Um, it was hard fought. Could we have played better? Yes. Could we have scored more? The usual, yes. But we are that work in progress, and this
Mhm.
is what you get from a work in progress like this. So yeah, I'm happy with it. I was looking this morning at young Gilchrist, the videos that were, captured of his performance when he came on. These are the future of the new project. These are the players that are going to take Chelsea to its new sets of glory. And, they have to be given the time to do that. People like him showing the real Chelsea fight, and Gallagher showing why he's wearing the armband. And I want to use this platform to say, shame on the Gallagher haters. Shame on you. He has really proved you wrong. You sure you're in the mud. You should eat humble pie and just get on and support this guy. I hope he signs a new contract. He's shown himself to be a worthy part of this rebuild. Shame on you. That's just pure Chelsea hatred. Yes, he wasn't the best player. Yes, he was developing. But look at the team yesterday. Average age 23 years old. I mean, come on, guys. That's all.
All right. Thank you, Bobby. Ty, I'm gonna catch up with what we have in the chat, and I'll come to you to hear whether you think it's a deserved win. Some people are saying we were lucky, and in the chat, Eugene saying we were saved by a penalty, a deserved penalty. It wasn't like it was the wrong call. I would have been shocked had they not been given called a penalty. But that's by the way. Thank you. There it says whenever a team doesn't play well, people start counting injuries. I say count players on the field and on the bench, and these players are these players worse than the team we lose to? That's a good question there, but in my opinion, we did well yesterday. At least a Poch showed some passion on the sideline, almost like his job was on the line. Maybe it was, but there's no way to tell if that was the case. Good afternoon to you too, new man, my bro, my Ghanaian bro. Nice to see you there. Another wonder kid signed by Chelsea. 1207 Chirag Knight, nice to see you. I don't know him, and I heard He was one of the best performers at the recently completed on the 17th FIFA World Cup. I can't just pretend I know him. Are we playing Premier League or under 21s? It is the Premier League. But part of the project is to start something, keep a crop of young players together that in a few years, if all goes to plan, if everything goes to plan, they will be dominating and dominate for a while. So the owners, my understanding of the project is that they want to achieve sustainable success. They don't want it to come in patches or bit by bit. They want to start winning and dominate both in England and in Europe. And look, they have a good plan. Has it worked perfectly? No. And I didn't come into the season expecting it to be perfect, in my opinion. But I understand where you're coming from, Coach. In my opinion, this season, Chelsea's problem is the soft approach by our defenders. They press too soft. Wow. Some argument. Yes, Giggs showed passion. That's why I've been calling for more of these youngsters to get it go. Yeah. Let the manager, you can say, approach games with the mindset that we have nothing to lose and give youngsters opportunities. I think they fight for the team. They fight whenever they're on the pitch, they give 100%. That's one thing you get from the academy players. If they're good enough, give them a chance. Coach, luck or not, it doesn't matter. A win is a win. That's how I see it too. Besides, we fumbled about 3 or 4 chances yesterday. We can only get better with time. That's how I see it too. The manager hasn't been perfect. The kids haven't been perfect. And that being said, kids will always be kids. Nice to see you, Jerry. It's that time of the year. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. Big up, Coach. I will go back to work now. Okay. We'll be back. Okay. See you when you come back. I appreciate you finding the time to join. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 20 likes. We should be doing better than that. I prefer to move on from projects. Shame, a passion, carbon proper, better to be objective. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. My new opinion is that the Mudryk Palmer Madueke relation on the wing will be very good. We should sell Starling because of his wage and take an experienced winger who can help them. His wage plus the fact that he's hardly consistent. That lack of consistency is my biggest concern when you talk about what's his name, Raheem Sterling. A lot of individual mistakes are the problem for Chelsea. Yesterday, Gusto was superb, but miss from Nkunku. Jackson Nkunku was actually impeded. That wasn't a miss. He was impeded. I will look at it. I could be wrong, but I'll look at it again. I think I've seen it twice now or 3 times. I'm quite sure he was impeded. Yep. But the only thing is that he didn't guide his ball. So if the guy tried to impede him, the guy would have committed a foul, leading that could have led to us, you could say, earning a penalty. Stalin had some good moments, but he isn't the experienced guy who helps the youngsters. He hasn't led by example. That's how I see it. Good match yesterday by Chelsea FC and that. Siaka, nice to see you. South Africa, I hope you're doing well. Good morning to you too, brother. Jude, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well too. Chelsea was never a project, man. Come on, okay. Let's hear you. What else you have? What else we have here? Please, take a pleasure in watching the video featuring Bobby as we, people, please read what Jerry has to say there. Go check it out. Support him, help him grow. Let's see. I wish we could improve upon yesterday's performance game by game. I think we will. Injuries haven't, you can say the injuries we've had haven't helped the manager stay consistent in terms of his selection process, selecting, you say, a particular set of players consistently to help them develop chemistry and start playing as a unit. That's been a big problem, and hopefully, from what we're hearing, I hope Romeo Lavia isn't injured. He finished the game, and rumors are that he felt some discomfort on his thigh. So I'm not too concerned. As long as it's called discomfort, to me, he'd be back soon. He didn't play that much, but you could see what he will bring to the team. He's an excellent player. And for me, I'm not going to start arguing who drops off or who drops to the bench. while he comes on. But boy, we have ourselves an excellent player in him. Gilcrease and Humphreys are the future. With Colwell, we don't need a new club, a new CB. Just keep Thiago Silva. Yeah, Bashir Humphreys, I like him too. I think we can, yeah, make up that number. I don't mind if people, if project, okay, I don't mind if project. If we want, I wanted to see more youngsters given a go at least to develop properly. I don't think Poch had that mindset. Maybe because he wants to, he himself, maybe he has some mindset as a fan base. He wants to win now. He wants the results. He doesn't want to lose his job. Jakaj, it's nice to see you. It's been a while. I hope the case is that you've been busy and nothing has happened on your end. Heard Chelsea is going up for Benjamin Sesko. I heard that too, but what I heard is that we're scouting him right now. Chelsea should go for Santiago Jimenez. Not a bad shout. Sesko will be another Jackson, so the development will take more time. Jackson, for me, I would take every other thing he offers whenever he's on the pitch, except I accept that he's a number 9. There's a good player in him, and he did quite a lot yesterday. Created 2 excellent chances, but those that got at the end of it, the chances he created, they fluffed it or missed it. Let me just use a much simpler language. Making Colwell at left back, Matson at wing is a huge crime. I'm not sure I understand that. Gilcrease came on with Rudiger's swagger. I'm not going to be too gassed, but I think he's a good player. But just for that move alone, I'm not just going to say, yeah, he's arrived. That's a small opinion. But Jude, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Big up everyone. Francis Winters, it's been a minute. I hope you're enjoying the festive period. But nice to see you. I thought Gilcrease might get a red card. Yeah, that exuberance in him. Chelsea team good, and let's give more chances because okay, that's a bit jumbled up there, but nice to see you, Douglas. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. Which position that Papi do the play? I think more of a DM. Yeah, but the way from what I've seen, that's according to what I observed from his highlights is that more of that of Yaya Torres sort of player. He has that build. He's comfortable, good on the ball, can drive with the ball also, and you can get the ball off of him easily. He can also shoot very well from outside the box. So he's more of that Yaya Toure sort of player, but I think he plays mainly as a DM. I don't know him that well. I'm basing my judgment off of what I've seen from his highlights. Bro, any update on Romeo Lavia? Nothing, except that the manager said he's a bit concerned. So since the manager is a bit concerned, I'm not too concerned either. I think he will come back. If anything, he will start off the bench again. Starling is a good player, yes, but he lacks consistency, which is my biggest concern. And that is what we don't expect. And that is what we don't expect from an experienced player. He needs to lead by example, and he hasn't been able to do that. I think Palma will link up really well with Nkunku, even Mudryk. They're all good. Mudryk makes excellent runs. If you have good vision, pay attention to his runs. I think he's shown that I've always known that's a good player in him. I've heard some people argue that Mudryk is still raw. No, he's not raw. All he needs is just a consistent game time, and then he will pick up from where he stopped at Shakhtar Donetsk, in my opinion. Let's see what else we have here. This here says, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing. There's good. Jerry C has shared the link to his YouTube channel. Please go check it out, subscribe, and let's help him grow. Jackson played well, except that miss, of course. Yep, for me, he was one of our best players on the day, creating 2 excellent chances, and the hold-up play to release Nkunku, that was excellent too. I think he created one again, 2 excellent chances, one for Nkunku. There was the other one he created. Yep, the flick to Mykhailo Mudryk. Yeah, that flick for Mykhailo Mudryk. That's why, Heston, if you know him, you'd know he was never a striker. He was converted to a striker at Villarreal, and he actually didn't play, I think, nearly at most half a season. Actually, he played at most half a season as a striker. Use him as a second striker or even on the flanks. I think he has a lot to offer to this team because he fights. He fights. If anything, I get it. Maybe he's still low on confidence, but he will come good. And I don't think the club will sell him either, in my opinion. Jackson played well. I agree with you. Jackson played well, but has to score. Yeah, that will come with time. These things happen to players. We need to continue supporting him and stop dragging the kid down. Thank you. That's a delicious argument, comment right there. By the way, we need to support him. Even if if you feel like it's not good enough, you're not going to change him now until we sign a new player. You have to work with what you have. Support him the best we can so that he keeps doing well rather than drag him down. Thank you for that, Adrian. Nice to see you. And Broya again come on in and did nothing at all. He did his best in my opinion, but I don't expect too much of him. He's still recovering. That's how I see it. I think Chelsea needs experienced players to that will happen. How many experienced players will sign? I don't know. Poch doesn't have the mantra to break the low blocks. He struggled with low blocks at Spurs and PSG too. He's expecting some magic to happen. No real plan. So Middlesbrough match will be tough, but I think we'll beat them. We need a better striker than Jackson. Okay, we'll see. Jackson was never a striker, so I don't expect him to act as one right now. Contrary to popular belief, Poch's Tottenham was the most effective at breaking down low blocks in over 5 years. Take the time to do your research. It's attributed to the quality up front. Yep, everything comes down to the quality you have rather than the manager's whatever the manager does, in my opinion. We're creating amazing chances, which is here's the thing. What does that show you, Mr. Naidu? That just shows you the issues lie with the players and not the manager. But that's just my opinion. Individuals are too much on Chelsea's side. Okay, Lamin Bass, blind passes and softness of players need to be hard and strengthen themselves. Right now, we need players who can fight. I hope so. And DJ, nice to see you, DJ. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. Big up Kuchila in the chat. Was at the match yesterday a good win. We should have killed the game off in the first half. Nothing new there. So the usual story. Second half, we played like we were losing. Overall, the penalty was 100% a penalty. Yep. So I wouldn't say we were saved by a penalty. I don't think that makes sense at all. I don't think Jackson was that good. Was that good out wide? He played better centrally, but deeper as a second striker. Yep. He has the attributes to do you could say to fulfill that role better. Middle Eastern action man, you'd sell Rhys James. Gusto going forward, use the money or get Vardy part of the deal. No, Rhys James stays. Big up to you too, Tiger Beast. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you joining. Please, I pray for Pochettino to work hard to know the players' performances. I think he will. Appreciate you there, Ty. Coming to you. Tabeho, I appreciate you finding the time to join us on the panel today. Let's hear you. Do you think it was a deserved winner, or are you one of those that think that we were lucky to have gotten a win?
Big up, coach. Big up, panel. Big up to the chat.
Yeah, big up to you. I'll come to you, Tiger. Tabeho, are you there?
100%.
All right, Tiger, go ahead. Maybe after you speak, Tabeho can come in later.
Yeah.
Yeah, coach. So
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, go ahead.
How about you?
Go ahead, Tabeho. I'm fine. I can't complain.
In regard of yesterday's game, as you know, Chelsea are creating chances, but at the moment, we are not scoring enough. This has been our issue from our first game until now. So overall, I think we should do better in terms of being clinical, because I always say this on your channel, coach, and will be my song every day. As long you're not clinical, you're not gonna win games. I'm sorry, because if you get chances and then you don't score them, you're gonna get punished. Look at the Wolves game. The same thing happened. So overall, I just want our attackers to do better. And I agree with you mostly. Jackson played well yesterday, But I'm sorry, his finishing is awful. It's extremely awful. Yes, he's not a striker, but he knows how to score. So he should do better there. So overall, I'm happy with his performance, but not his shooting. Even Sterling against Wolves played very well, and then he he had a blunder before the halftime. So yeah, man, I'm happy with the win because we've been playing good this season and not getting results. So I don't care what people say. 3 points is 3 points. We move to the next game.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what anybody thinks. For me, we won, and it was a deserved penalty, in my opinion. I'd be shocked. I would have been shocked had the referee not given that penalty. Tiger, I appreciate you joining us on the
Another
panel.
thing,
I hope you.
before Ty. Sorry,
Yeah, go ahead.
Ty. And another thing, people were complaining that Pochettino switched Malo Gusto to the left back. Did you see Olise cooking Liverpool the whole game? Oh my gosh! If Gusto didn't come that side, I don't know where the result will be. Maybe Palace should have won the game. And Malo Gusto came that side and then he helped the defense.
We'll talk about Gusto. We'll talk about players one by one. Gusto was he led actually. He was the leader on the day, in my opinion. Tiger, just give me a few seconds here. Let's give those in the chat the microphone. I'll be back to you in a bit. One
Sure,
problem
coach.
with Gallagher is he always passes after an interception, even though there's an attacking option. He's too focused on intercepting and completely blank after that. I still take that. I think no one else has been good at you can say winning the ball back for us than him. Coach, you have noticed how better Jackson plays when positioned on the wings. You could argue that, but I think he did better when he came centrally and as a second striker, just as Constantine Dante mentioned. And Wally Waldo is in the house. I disagree on selling Reece James. I disagree too. Reece James, honestly, I don't think the club will sell him. If we sell him and Gusto gets injured, we have no replacement, and we will be in the same predicament as we are now. I think we'll keep them both. Gusto is an excellent player. Reece James is. It would be good to have them both. I hope one day Chelsea will be better. Plus, in the number one spot, I think we will. That we'll get to that date. Just be patient. Big up, Constantine. Just saying hello. He enjoyed himself. Big up to you too. Has to go now. The Undertaker. Nice to see you. Thank you for dropping by. I keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. We have 27 likes. But we should sincerely be doing better than that. Let's see what else we have here. And this is saying, I could have told you before game that Colwell we get cooked. Yeah, but I don't blame him. That's because he's not traditionally a left back, in my opinion. Everyone knows why Gallagher got a yellow card, by the way. None of the commentators have said anything about it. What was it again? I can't quite recall. What does Colwell do playing as a left back? Yeah, so that's why I don't judge him. He's not the left back, so when he plays there, we have a makeshift back line, and for mistakes he make playing in the left back position, I won't blame him. Good to see objective assessment from Kulis says 6 months. 6 months, and we are still a work in progress. For what reason? You explain. Why are we still a work in progress? But there are many questions. But the truth remains, if we're being truthful to ourselves, the injuries we've had they haven't helped. So that the injuries have led to the manager stopping and changing. Yep. What are you saying? Ho ho ho!
Can I
Valley, nice to
please?
see you. Just 1 second, Poch. Bobby, let me catch up with what we have here. And nice to see you. I hope you're doing well, Valley. I appreciate you joining. My aim is to win every single home game in 2024. Pochettino, I hope we do that. I hope Poch learned a lesson that it's wrong to play players off position when there's a choice. Colwell got done by Olise. Matson should have been a left back. Olise is not tall. Let's see. We never have a great 90 minutes game, almost a 45 minutes. This team is supposedly young and should be more energetic. I think they did well overall, in my opinion. Chelsea fans, let's give the heart together and to pray together for our club. Okay, I agree. Rich Money, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding time to join. John Terry said Great Chris will be the next best player out of the academy. I hope that becomes the case. 1 second, Patch, Bobby. Okay, Bobby, let's hear you.
Yeah, I just wanted to address one of the comments,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the one about 6 months and we're still a work in progress. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, this is the kind of comment that really just gets me. I mean, really, okay, let's stop. So everybody stop. Let's just complain about Chelsea. Get everybody out, get this player out, get this one's useless. Well, what is that? What is the productivity in that sort of attitude? It makes no sense. The well, I don't want to start being insultive, but this is what I'm saying. This is what we need to get rid of in the fan base. This is not it's not a sensible thing to say. It's not even worth engaging. Oh, 6 months and we're still a work in progress. So, why do you think that is? What do you think the reasons are? Is your simple answer is, oh, let's get rid of Poch. Oh, Gallagher's no good. Oh, why is so and so playing here? Oh, no critical analysis. And it drives me crazy because it's not intelligent. And I'm tired of engaging with a lack of intelligence. I like having intelligent, understanding
I
conversation.
think that's too much, Bobby. People are entitled to their respective opinions. Just let
I
them say
hear
what they want to
you.
say. I don't
I
think we
hear
should go to
you.
the extent of saying
I,
talking about anybody's
I,
intelligence.
I hear you. I hear you 100%. And, you know, hosting a show, you have to entertain everything and anything that's being said. I appreciate that 100%. But that's my reaction to it. You know, I listen to it and listen to it and listen to it. And I've just got to a point where I'm saying, you know, what are you talking about, mate? This is foolish. And that's my opinion. And, you know, for all it's worth, for me, this needs to stop. We need to converse, not just bitch. Sorry.
All right. Thank you for that. I'm glad you understand. Yeah, it's a bit too much to talk about people's intelligence, and we're all entitled to our respective opinions. And Judy saying, "I'll be with you, Tiger." Sorry, that's taking too long, Coach. Love so much
Not
that
an
Bobby
issue, coach.
suddenly
Not an
became
issue.
part in. And simplest expansion is Coach. We change the formation and team almost every game. Yes, injuries are a big part of it, but but it's not the only part. We need consistency and proper training. Let's see what else we have here. Gilchrist. This says Gilchrist is actually good. In my opinion, he brings a crap ton of energy and forcefulness to the squad. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Let's see what else we have here. We should be a 4-5, 4 or 5th place in the table. That doesn't matter. Let's talk about where we are right now, and let's talk about what we are capable of achieving by the time the season ends. But I understand what you mean. If we're being truthful, had we been clinical, I'd just leave it at would be better placed on the table or better positioned in the table. You can agree or disagree, but the numbers, I agree. Well, no, I think everybody understands that there's much more to analyze. But let's talk about how we can improve and how we can end the season. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. 6 months and one day, I actually still no progress. I think there's progress in my opinion, but we're all respectfully, we're all entitled to our respective opinions. But at one point we regressed. Hopefully we see you could say this win will continue to win and not win one and then lose two before we win another one. I am good, Coach. Good to hear that you're good. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. Let's see what else we have here. Anything else to address? Yeah, I don't trust the sporting directors to sign what we need in January. We need to get these key signings right. Less mediocrity awaits. I think we need to be very, very strategic in the market in January. Cowell and Gallagher with the weak links in the team. Gallagher was, in my opinion, he did very well yesterday. Bobby, I disagree with you. Pochettino is a pop football club manager at best. Okay, he's not taking us forward, but rather backwards. Let's see. I concur 100%. Okay, that's good to hear. Poch has to go because he does not know his first 11 and keeps playing players out of position. And why do you think that that's been the case? Let's see. We have a very mediocre coach. His game management is horrible for all to see. Okay, let's see. There's so much to read there. Hi, Bobby. Okay, I have spoken to some of my friends. Okay, Bobby will read that. Let me see. The problem I see with everyone, including these pundits, is they compare CFC to other clubs like Spurs, Liverpool, Arsenal, which is wrong. We now have a completely new team. That's one of the things people don't pay attention to, and that's a huge issue on its own. You don't just start playing as a unit in 6 months if you have a completely entirely new squad with injuries on top. That's a fact. The problem, yeah, so good point right there. I appreciate that. Anything else to address? I am not blaming Cowell because the guy is being played out of position. That's how I see it too. I don't blame him. Even I say, yeah, that was his mistake. But more importantly, it doesn't make sense because he's not a left back. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I'm still a Poch, to be honest. I am like that too. I am like that, and then I'm not going to start judging him now. Tiger, let's hear you. You wanted to say something.
Yeah. Big up, coach. Big up, panel.
Sorry
Big
that
up,
it
chat.
took too long. Bobby interjected. But go ahead.
Not an issue. So yeah, I mean, coming to the point, am I satisfied with the win? Well,
Yeah,
in
do
the
you
last
think it
5
was a
games,
deserved win, or do you think we were lucky, like a lot of people are saying?
coach, I personally think if any football fan or if any Chelsea fan at this point is not liking a win, I mean, criticizing us winning games is completely deluded because uh, in the last 5 games we have just won 2, right, including the Crystal Palace game. So in the last 5 games we have lost 3 games. Anything, anywhere, if there is a win, we have to clinch it right now. That's what our position is. We are not like Man City or Aston Villa or Liverpool or Arsenal, who can go on and say that, okay, you know what, we won, but it should have been more comprehensive. You know what, we won, but this player didn't play well. We are at a position in the table and in way of injuries that we don't have that cushion to bargain on what kind of win we get. Any win right now matters, and matters a lot. So my point is this. So yeah, I'm happy with the win. Did I expected a win? No. I was scared as like I was scared as hell in the second half. I was very happy in the first half. I thought the whole Poch ball of the preseason that I saw and everything just returned my old Chelsea's back, and it would be a delight and all that. But it just lasted a half, and then the second half is, you know, all the same repeated mistakes. We were, I can't use the French words. We were mess in defending. we were a complete mess in defending. We were very shaky in defending. In the first half, our strikers missed like anything. I can go on a rant about Jackson, but now I feel for that lad because I personally think that that player is not suited for a football club like Chelsea, and he has been just forced to play for us. He does not have that much of experience under his hat to play for a top Premier League club, and that expectations and that technique would crumble under such a lot of pressure under fans. So I personally think it's unfair for him to play for us, and if we expect anything from Jackson beyond this point, it would be totally unfair. I don't think so. Jackson is our level. We should not expect anything from that guy. He has already overperformed, in my personal opinion. He has scored how much? 7-8 goals. It's done. I mean, Jackson cannot do more. And the problem is the chances that he misses, coach, is the chances that any other striker from any other team, even the Sheffield United team, will finish. The chance he missed yesterday, just before the offside goal, he kind of redeemed himself and then got unlucky for that offside goal. That chance was criminal to miss. You can't be a Chelsea striker and miss those kind of chances. And that was not the first time he missed that chance. He has been doing that for ages now in this season. And that's where the problem lies. I agree with Blueboard analysis, my very good friend Jerry Z, and all the Bobby and all the great panel members over here, that we have injuries and this Chelsea team will be better. I want it to be better too. I'm seriously against those people who are running agenda on Twitter, on X, whatever, that they'll blame no matter what. Even if there is a win, they'll give 10, 20 odd points. That how Chelsea is so poor and
It just
pathetic.
seems as if we always find the excuse to, you can say, to be negative sometimes. So
Yeah,
go ahead with
yeah,
what you were saying.
yeah. But there lies a difference between being negative all the time and being critical of some underlying flaws that can cause havoc in terms of the complete football system and the football club we are playing and we want to create. Uh, this new system, coach, I have a big problem. This manager, Pochettino. The only
Mhm.
problem I have with Pochettino is, why, as a manager, you have Jackson from the start of preseason. I don't think so. He was injured even a game. He's fit for the whole season. You had him from preseason, I guess. He was playing. He was well, and he was doing fairly well in the preseason. We were having very high hopes. Um, Constantin Dante in the chat. I'll still cook porch. It's not a big deal. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, but my
I'll
my,
come
my
back to you.
friend.
Thank you so much. Go ahead. Sorry, were you still speaking?
Yeah. My only point of concern with Pochettino is, why, being a manager of Chelsea Football Club, don't you have the authority to sternly correct Jackson and any player that is missing horrendous chances in front of the goal, when you have had the whole preseason with them and now 17, 18, 19, whatever games with those players? How can they still miss chances and still give BS on the Twitter? Like, they say, people don't know ball if they criticize me. I don't give the French word. I don't understand. How can a player miss those chances and still be so arrogant? And
Yeah,
and
that's
and
another
he's not
problem.
he's
Yeah.
not he and he's not being told by the manager. That's the manager's fault. That's not Jackson's fault that he's not converting those chances. That's the manager's fault, that he is not saying anything to that lad. Big managers and elite managers scold you if you miss those chances. No matter what's your age, if you're playing for Chelsea Football Club, you're carrying the legacy of our legends like Didier Drogba, Morata. We had very good strikers, legend strikers. You're playing in that shirt, and I expect you to play like them. I don't care what's your age. Cole Palmer is never Palmer is never discussed of his age. Why always Jackson gets this free fair card of, you can ride on your age? I'm just 22. Please forgive me. That won't work. I'm sorry. If you're playing in the blue shirt, you need to perform. If you can't perform, please be benched. We have Nkunku, we have Broya, who get then Broya also is again messed up, coach. And then the same pattern in defending too. Why the manager is not holding accountable the defenders? Why Axel Disasi is committing the same mistakes game by game by game by game? Who is gonna scold those lads? That you cannot allow crosses in. You cannot be messed up and shaky in set piece defending. It's a problem in training and it's a problem in coaching. Why we are still messed up and shaky in defending? So yeah. In that sense, I
In that sense,
personally
I
don't watch it in a lot. But yeah, that was my assessment.
that was my assessment.
I
Nothing much to say.
disagree.
Nothing much to say.
I disagree with you. We
You're
here
right.
It's all right.
only.
Give me a minute. Let's hear from who joined a minute ago. But if you want to respond quickly, go ahead. If you're not going, if it's not going to take long.
Yes, just 1 minute, coach. I just want
Mhm.
to say this. We all know here that Broja and Jackson are not Chelsea's level. At the moment, what Pochettino can do is to train them in training, for example, shooting drills and stuff. But during the games, Pochettino can't do anything. I'm sorry. the coach is not in fault for those players missing those chances. Even Sterling, do you blame Pochettino for Sterling what he did against Wolves? I don't think so.
All right, JC,
Okay.
let's hear you. So that we
Yeah.
can move on. We haven't even started reviewing the game proper. But go
Yeah, I
ahead,
just
JC.
wanted to reply to Bobby's comment, like, okay, get out of my club. You are a bad fan and all that because 6 months and all that. Let me start by a very simple thing that should probably give my answer to that, Bobby, for Bobby, because no, nothing personal. Sometimes you are so senior and so long supporting an organization that you feel entitled that your view is the view, and not respecting other views makes it difficult, because diversity of views makes one better. And not appreciating some other views, fine, you can make their choices, but leadership is about not others making you follow, but believing in something. And if there are majority of people who believe in what you believe, they will follow you. The chat gave the answer to Bobby. There were so many comments saying that we are not progressing well enough. I didn't even have to answer and come online. By the time I reached online, I already see people are already triggered by that. And it is this kind of triggering comments, and this is making bad atmosphere in our fan base. This is kind of the entitlement to hierarchy, which is bad. We should have proper discussions. As for the progression, yes, we are still work in progress. We have seen something very new this season, which was not like last season. Last season was also a work in progress, but this season, instead of firing a manager, okay, they did fire the manager, they also fired the whole squad. This has never happened. We have never seen such a thing. So we have everything is new, and now firing a squad every year is difficult. Firing a manager will become more of a probability if the results don't come, or we will just continue like this. So do we consider this 6 months as a progress? I don't think so. We have, yes, I agree that, admit there are reasons that there were injuries, but then again there are counter arguments also. Like if you look at the starting 11 and the bench and the players, and you individually evaluate the quality of those players and the teams, players of the teams to which we are losing, are our players better technically? Yes, probably. Many of the games we lost, our players were available. Players were still better. So it's not working. Is like what is not work. What did not work is when you try to use individual players, build a team, and the outcome is more than the individuals. That's still work in progress. It's not working. We are seeing changes every game, partly due to injuries, but partly also not due to injuries. We are seeing left back playing not left back, right back playing not right back, and some of them are good reasoning for them. They have good justifications for them, but sometimes they don't work. And that this is football. There is no exact science, and the coach lives by his decision. A good decision will be said well done, and a bad decision will be called out like it was a bad decision. So eventually, on the balance of it, you see, have we progressed? We are 11th, maybe 10th now since yesterday. 10th is not good enough. It's not good enough. We should
Let's
be a
never
little
say
bit
quickly,
higher than that.
JC. Nobody's celebrating 10. You said they fired the entire squad. I don't think they did that, or they did that on purpose. We were
Yeah,
the
but
ones complaining, at least some fans, let me not say we, because I don't speak for everybody. We're complaining that the players we had at the time didn't look like they want to be here. And some of them, we heard their stories, what the reports were saying, some of them wanted to leave. Only a few wanted to stay. And here's the thing, even beyond that, let's assume they fired the entire squad. They own the club. They have every right to do that. But I don't think part of the argument, I get everything you say, and I understand your point of view. But saying the owners fired the whole club, I think, I don't think I agree with you on that.
okay, then tell me one thing, Coachella.
Yeah.
I'm not inside the club, so I do not know. It's not exactly like I'm speculating here. There's a
Mhm.
disclaimer for start, but I have a feeling they come from a place where you're a part of a team. If you are not motivated to stay here, we are not having a discussion. Then you go.
And it's not
right?
a bad thing.
No, that's not a bad thing. That's a fantastic thing. Yes. And if you look at the previous team, I mean, we were struggling so much last season. It's also possible some of those players were like really like they gave up. They were totally disoriented and everything. But when things became too complicating, okay, let it be. They are out. They want out. So okay, you want out, you go out. But the outcome was, in fact, okay. You can remove the word fired. You can say we have not seen many times where the whole team was changed. I mean, you remember in the past we used to say Chelsea fired so many managers, but there is a consistency in the team, and the new manager comes and performs. So overall, there is a pattern. Like the team, the core is there and consistently there. But last year, what happened was the whole team go. If you want to go, go. Everything changed. So we do not take into account last year. We have a new manager for 6 months, I think, like 4 months he's been playing and 2 months or 1 month of preseason, and we have new players. But judging and looking at those players also individually, how many of them have improved? I get it. I get it. Like the injuries. I also get it. Like it was a scattergun collection of players and all that. I also get it. Maybe they are not the way all players are the way Poch wanted them to be. Like they are not his players. But he was also like analyzing. Should I take this job? Like, are these players, they fit into my strategy? Will I be able to perform? There must have been some plan there as well. And definitely the plan was not to finish like mid-table or below mid-table. So are we progressing? No, I don't think so. The progress has been good enough. uh, yes, it might be a project, but still, I mean, do you think the project would have been like, we'll just scrape past relegation this season?
All right, here's the thing. Do I think we are where we should be? I'd say no. And here's the thing. I urge all of us, no matter how you see the situation, from whatever perspective you see the situation, it's natural. We'll all see things from this different lenses perspective, if that's the language you prefer. But I urge us to please not take things personal. We're here to have a conversation. If we all agree, then something is wrong somewhere. If we all agree, we don't have a show. And yeah, we learn because we have a debate, because we pay attention, be open-minded to other people's point of view, listen to them. Sometimes there's always something to learn from one another, even when you feel like they're wrong. And please, I know we're all mature enough here. Let's refrain from using languages that will come across as insulting to anybody. I'm sure emotions were running high. But you see, thank you for joining the
Let
panel.
me
We'll have
clarify, Coachella. Just, I mean, having a banter joke is fine. But when you are insult, when the insult is
no,
coming
no
right
need to go
from,
there again, Jesse. No
yeah,
need to
yeah,
go there again.
yeah.
He
So,
admitted that
Coachella, you need to
that's
start
too much.
taking out
Yeah.
cards. I mean, discipline is an issue, so you need to come out with your cards more often. So,
Yeah, I
but
think
anyway,
maybe we
Bobby,
should
big up. I
introduce the
mean,
yellow card.
I respect your passion, Bobby, and I really like
No,
I
let's
admire
let's
you.
move on. Let's move on from that.
And
That's if you want to have a conversation with Bobby, you are connected on
yeah,
X.
sure,
We have a
sure. Yeah,
show. We have people
thanks for
waiting
giving
to
me a
listen
word.
to us here. This is
I
not a
will.
courtroom.
Yeah,
Please.
I will come out of here now. Then thanks a lot, Coach.
Yeah, thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
Big up to you too in Life No Limits. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. And W. Michael Joy is saying our position, I don't appreciate our position either. We should be better. Again, we should be doing better. I agree. But at the same time, I've taken my time to look at the situation, and the truth remains that there are a multitude of reasons why, myriad of reasons why we are where we are today. And the manager has he been perfect? No,
Coach,
but I can't
explain?
just 1 second, I can't say he's the reason why we are the sole reason why we're struggling. Go ahead, Bobby.
Yeah, it's a shame Jersey has gone. I was listening and it's fine. But I just want to explain something about our position. I don't think our position is good enough completely either. I don't think it's good enough at all. But the fact is, I understand why it's happening. And the fact is, to me, it becomes nonsensical to blame someone for being injured in this sense. We have so many injuries it's almost impossible to create a functional unit. And that's why we are in the position we're in. It's not the sole reason, but it is a significantly major reason. Look at yesterday. Nkunku couldn't play all 90 minutes. Lavia, sorry, had to come on for a few minutes and still had injuries, worries afterwards. Unfortunately, now we've got Mudryk on the injury bench. So all these things have been hampering the progression of the project. And people will say, well, injuries are part of football. Yes, they are. But when you have 16 injuries at the start of a game, and you have 2 suspensions, and you have 4 to 5 players still coming back from injury, you're dealing with a very, very difficult, if not impossible situation. And that's just the point I'm trying to get across, that the expectation has to be curbed with the reality of what is happening and why it's happening.
All right. Thank you
Okay,
so
let
much.
me add
Thank you so
something.
much. Let me
Go ahead.
go ahead.
Just 2 seconds. Look at Newcastle at the moment. They have 9 injuries, and they're struggling. So clearly, you can see without your key players as a coach, you struggle. Simple as that. I know people will say it's excuses, but the evidence is there. Spurs had 5 games without winning due to the key players out of injuries. So at the end of the day, you can say it's excuses, but it's the reality that you are facing at the moment.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. I'll come back, then we'll get into the match review proper. Jackson missed the easier chances, but the really hard ones he put away. You could argue that. But you're the one who blamed the players now. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. I agree. Jackson has the raw ingredients to be a very good player. But please don't let's stop playing him as a number 9, as a second striker maybe. And like Constantine Danton mentioned, he did better playing centrally as a second striker. But at a club like Chelsea, where the expectations are high, he cannot be afforded the time. It's not his fault that he's our main striker. I think I agree with you. He was never a striker in the first place. He was never a striker. But we bought. I don't know if I don't even know if we bought him as a striker. I don't know. Maybe those who scouting him didn't pay attention to the fact that he was never a striker. A very good friend Jerry Z already, but cooked mediocre punch last time. Let's see what else we have here to the panel. Jackson could get you relegated. I am fed up of the news saying we have lost 19 games in 2023. The question I want to ask you: can you change him now? Even here's something we have to pay attention to. No matter how you feel about the situation, whatever you think the club should do about the situation, nothing can be done now until the transfer window opens. And until we sign another player, you have to make do with what you have. So my advice, we have to support the players we have right now. In all honesty, some of these players we have right now will not get a place, will not get to play in the team we had in the 2004, 2006, and even up to 2013, 14, 15. So you have to just support what you have. It's a project. And given the sort of that we've signed a 17-year-old Senegalese international, and we're still looking to sign more young players, you'd be better off accepting the situation. I get it. We will get there again. We will rise again to that level. If we don't sign experienced players, it would take 2-3 years. If we do sign for strategic in the coming transfer window and sign experienced players here and there just to balance things out, we can get there in a year, maybe next season even, because we have some talents here. But given their age, kids will always be kids. Inconsistency will be a certainty, given their age, because they're inexperienced, if that makes sense. But keep dropping the likes on the stream. And we have Derek Baki saying, I honestly think we should look for more positives in our players. I just realized we don't stop and think we'll never have a fully healthy, a strong team since the rebuild. These kids will grow and learn. So we can either wait for them to grow or maybe sign a few experienced players to balance things out and start doing better right now. But do I think we have talent? Yeah, we do have a crop of talented players, one of the best in the league. But for them to reach their peak, it would take a year or two, or even three. So, but you get my point. But we should understand that kids will always be kids and temper our expectations. Hopefully, the owners will come to terms that we need to mix things up with more experienced players. And by the way, we do use experience and age interchangeably often. That we don't realize that you don't need to be 30 before you experienced enough in football. Let's give Poch time to develop the Chelsea players. I think the owners won't change the way they're going. They're shown that's what they want to do. They have a plan and they will stick to their plan. If anything, they will change slightly by accommodating a few experienced players here and there, but not the entire team. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. I'm going to scroll to the very bottom and then I'll try to get your subsequent contributions in the chat. That's because we have quite a lot to read here. No one goes to Veo. Let's see, no more excuses. This team, we must beat Luton, and we're very better players. I think we will. Heston, but expect the worst. And if we win, enjoy it. Let's give a Poch an excuse until the entire eternity argument is nonsense. In 6 months, we cannot defend the set piece. No pattern of play, and so ill-disciplined as a club. Here's the thing. Given this particular comment here, I know you understand fully well to know injuries we've had haven't helped. They've caused you could say they've compounded the situation. In my opinion, against Liverpool, I'm quite sure a lot of us that are complaining now were happy and probably were going. You can see what we wanted to do. You can see what the manager wants to do there. We played as if we played together for a while against Liverpool and against some of the teams. You can say the so-called big boys, in my opinion. But I understand where you're coming from. I've said this before. I'm not going to judge Pochettino that much until we have everybody healthy. Then I'll give him a few games. Then then I'll take my time to analyze how well we do in those games in question, and then conclude whether I think he's the man or not. I think it just doesn't make sense to judge him now, given the fact that we have too many players out injured, in my opinion. But you have every right to see the way you feel is right. Jackson is not a Chelsea level striker. Jackson was never a striker, and now we're trying to convert him to one after he started playing as a striker at Villarreal. The fan base are fed up of seeing like the new manager of other teams, like Nottingham Forest manager, not even been there for a week. For weeks, and has the Nottingham Forest team playing better already. How many players did they change? And let me ask you that question. How many players did they change? That's not me saying Poch is perfect, but sometimes we sound as if we just you can say base our judgment on what we're seeing elsewhere without, you can say, paying attention to the fact that we have an entirely new squad and nothing in Nottingham Forest case, not as much as we do. In my opinion, I get it. They signed a lot of players, but not as much as we did. In my opinion, we do have a pattern of play. It's very obvious and easy to counter for most of the position coaches. I think I agree. We tend, if we could avoid those easily defensive mistakes and get a striker, we would be in the top four. Here's the thing. Let me say one more thing quickly, and then I'll scroll to the very bottom. The fact remains the defensive area of a team is the most difficult to assemble. The slightest change you make to a defensive lineup, you bet your bottom dollar you see a disjointed display from the team, or lack of proper coordination from the team, lack of proper communication. You can do that in the attacking area and get away with it. But in the defensive area, it will still be obvious that they haven't played together for a while. So chopping and changing doesn't really help in the defensive area of a team, in my opinion. That's not me saying we've been perfect. At one point, I agreed with Roger when he said we were regressing. Yeah, we did. But I didn't expect us to, when coming into this season, I didn't expect us to be perfect. I knew it was going to be very difficult. That's because we had a lot of issues. So I'm going to try to get a comment from those of you that I haven't gotten your comments, and I'll scroll to the very bottom. That's because there's quite a lot in the chat here. Christian, nice to see you. I appreciate you finding time to join the show. Poch doesn't have a problem with discipline. Another yellow he got again. He has to speak up. Sometimes the fact that you're vocal enough or you speak up whenever referees do something you feel like harsh on your team, if you speak up, sometimes that could lead to them being not just not being quick to yellow card a player for one of your players, or maybe you could say be reluctant to sometimes do something that will harm your team. You need to be that vocal. I like that. He was very active on the touchline, and I like that. Guys, as much as we want to be in a better position, we cannot judge a progress where we have only played 19 games. We need to wait till the end of the season to judge. And I think the owners would do that. It doesn't really matter what anybody thinks. Yellows get scrapped after the new year. So Poch is getting the yellow. Doesn't really matter. Oh, okay. That's a good one there. Thank you for educating us on that. And the blue to forget, I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. He says, Poch has shown the world that he is a fraud. Wow. The first half play proved that this team is more than capable of a top 4 finish. And who coached them in the first half? Was it Hansi Flick? Let me ask you that question. It's Ranieri's
I was going to
style.
say that.
Yeah, Ranieri's style tinkering was a sight to behold. Maybe. I think he needed to make the changes he made. But go ahead. You wanted to say something.
The main thing, coach, is the point which I feel upset about is, if Poch can play this team like the team played in the first half, why we were not playing like this? So and then people
I don't
report
know.
injuries.
I can't say why I
Exactly,
think there
exactly.
is what is the reason.
That's
Go
the
ahead.
concern. That's the concern. I understand about injuries and all, but if this team could play like this, and this was very similar to preseason, why Poch was experimenting out of ideas, out of positions, playing players out of positions? What was he trying to do? In the games we have lost, and this is quite concerning, because if your manager can win you games, if your manager can make the team play the way our team played in the first half, then where were we? Then the whole accountability of losing those games, which we shouldn't have been losing, lies on the manager itself. The games we have drawn this season, where we should have won like any day, and we drew those games because our strikers never had that instinct to score. But all that just summarizes that Poch also is having a very hard time at Chelsea, and I won't use the word sympathize or something like that with him, because I personally feel that he was very ready to take the job. I read the tweets where he was quoted saying that I researched about the team and I studied the project. So if you studied the project, then researched the project, then if you say now that I didn't expect this much pressure, that's all bogus and being hypocrite. Like, if you studied the project, you knew that the pressure would be there. Graham Potter just got sacked, and he was not like some manager in some Vanarama league. He was Brighton's manager. He had the experience of managing a Premier League team, but he got the sack. He couldn't handle the pressure. So you were very well known to the pressure of being a Chelsea manager and not performing and not delivering the expectation of the fans. You still signed for the job, and now he says, after the problem with Poch is he's not consistent even in his words and dialogues. After a loss, the whole body language, the whole demeanor, the whole words he say is very different as to the Poch after a win. And that shows in itself how players play on the pitch. As a team, we are very inconsistent as well. So I personally think that the manager has still not got the perfect system of what this team should play. He's still experimenting, and I have no issues. Like the coach said, This team need not be perfect this season, and we all knew that. But losing games which should be won on canter, you know, and then drawing to teams like Man City, beating Tottenham Hotspurs, and then losing to the worst team in the PL at that point of time, not now. Now they have just won against Villa. What a game that was! Manchester United was messed up when we faced them, and we lost to them. So we had no intensity, no nothing. So I just want to say that Poch has serious issues at his hand, and he has not been consistent enough with the training and with the coaching and with the style of play, in my personal opinion. So yeah, he needs to improve on that if he wants to say. And regarding the owners coach, some people in the chat was saying, you were saying it too, I guess. The owners have a plan, but that plan is like ice, you that ice is like, if you keep the ice in your fridge, if you're in your refrigerator, it won't melt. But as soon as that you keep the ice outside under external heat and the external pressure, it will start melting. The owner's plan is like that. It's very sophisticated. It's on papers. It's in the algorithms of the computer. As soon as it meets the reality of football, it gets crumbled up, because in the data sheet, a player may have a lot of xg, a lot of expected assists and expected goals, but when that player lands in the Premier League and tries to score against defenders like Kanji or Luis Diaz, or great defenders in the Premier League, tall, strong Virgil van Dijk, all those xg and expected assists goes down the drain. Our recruitment directors sign players based on paper stats. The visible scouting has gone to the drains. Now we are looking forward to Antonio Nusa of Club Brugge, I guess that's the name, of Victor Gyökeres, 100 million striker. When we have a Victor Osimhen right there for some more millions, who has proven himself in the Champions League and with Napoli. So I don't understand when they will know and understand that experience has no substitute. And I personally feel most of our troubles right now is because of our lack of experience. If we had a Kante in the midfield till now, if we had a Kovacic in the midfield till now, our midfield would have been more settled, more guided, more focused, and it would have been better for Poch as well to guide the team. But the recruitment strategy is at a very big fault right now, because it's expecting Chelsea to be going in a state of hibernation where we can create players, we can improve every phase of our play, the defense, the midfield, and the attack, and that takes a lot of time. All these clubs who have gone through a rebuild have taken 3 to 4 years. You see Arsenal, you see Real Madrid at like 2008 or 2007 Real Madrid, when they went into this whole big rebuild. All those big clubs go into that 3-4 years of frame, and you did that to Chelsea, but the Chelsea fans were not ready for such a rebuild. And what you're seeing is the clash of expectations versus reality right now. So and it's just gonna get worse if we are not winning. So we have won against Crystal Palace, and we all know how we have won that match. If that was not for Noni Madueke, we were going back. We would have lost that match, or we would have drawn that match. So, and the second half was all heart attacks for me. Every time the ball was in our half, I was like, oh, here we go, it's 2-1 Crystal Palace. So we can't play like that. It's not how a team with so many good players, and a team who plays well in the first half plays like that in the second half. We need to maintain some intensity through both the halves, and that has been missing this whole season for me. Just exception those Man City match, I guess that was the only match I felt that we maintained the consistency and the intensity throughout the match. We wanted to win. So yeah, that's my assessment on this.
I'd love to add a comment here, because this is really interesting.
Mhm.
I sort of said, oh, I'd like to comment as soon as I heard who's this speaking? Is it? It's not Jerry Z, is it?
No,
Is
that's
it?
Tiger.
Tiger.
Tyra? Yeah. As soon as I heard him say, um, Chelsea fans were not ready for the rebuild. Yes, that's true. A lot of them have been fans within the 20 years of exponential success, and
We won the
we will
Champions League
get.
in 21, mate.
Sorry.
We just won the Champions League, right?
Yeah,
Some years
yeah,
back. So yeah,
and those exponential success. That's what I said, and we will get those exponential success periods back. I really believe that. But yeah, Chelsea fans were not ready for the sale. The sale was just brought upon us for political reasons. Chelsea fans were not ready for a lot of things that have been thrown at us over the past 2, maybe 3 seasons. We were not ready for the transfer ban, but we've had to adjust. And to be fair to them, it's been a huge period of adjusting, accommodating, and fans have become concerned, nervous, and worried, and maybe rightly so. Truth is, we've had someone come on criticize me. Perhaps I'm a bit harsh and all that, but yes, I accept it. I take it on the chin. But I don't shy away from who I am. I am old school. I'm old school Chelsea. I've been a fan for decades, over 50 years, well over 50 years. So if I become a little bit impatient, it's not out of malice, but it's just out of experience. And sometimes it's frustrating when you see fans that will form the next generation saying things that disheartens you. You think, wow, we should be supporters, because I've seen those times that were 10 times worse. I've seen rebuilds and I've actually gone through what it takes. And I have to assure you that, look, we have a set of really, really talented young players. They will come good. They will come good. I will stand by it. Just like in the days when I used to say, look, Conor Gallagher can be converted into a 6 in midfield. People laughed at me. I would say on platforms and I would be completely poo-pooed. Now look at it. Conor Gallagher is the man. He is the multiplicity of positions in midfield at the moment for Chelsea. That's the guy. So, things will change. Things will get better. Our injuries have not helped us. I keep saying this because it's true. Now, whether people think it was right or it was wrong for the owners to do this and do that and to change this and to change that. I've even heard people talking about the Nottingham Forest rebuild, which, mind you, wasn't done with all youngsters. They brought in quite a few very seasoned older players. But these players come at a cost. Unless we forget why we went through the process of bringing in youngsters is because of FFP. Please, there are people wanting Chelsea to be hung, drawn and quartered for whatever misdemeanors of the old regime was declared in an audit. When the audit findings were declared, rightly so, to the authorities, people want the club to be punished for that, for something that the new owners have absolutely nothing to do with and have every right to sue you to high heavens if you come to attack them for doing the right thing to try and rectify a situation. And they've rectified it by getting in youngsters, by putting them on wages that is under 100K in the main, and having a situation where incrementally they can get more money based on more success. I think that's a very sensible and a very pliable blueprint to follow, and it's acceptable to the authorities. I just wonder what people want them to do. We talk of, okay, we should get mature players.
but
Mature players that are Chelsea standard, I can assure you, will be looking for the 300, 400K a week that some of the players we had to get rid of were demanding from Chelsea. And the
yeah,
owner said, no, we're not doing that. We're going to have a proper wage structure. So that's why we are where we are.
but
We're going to
but
do this.
here's a tap in, sir. Right. The
Okay?
point you're saying, right? The problem is, and I speak for the part of fan base who doesn't agree with the signings. We have signed players who are youngsters, but we
Yeah.
have paid money for superstars.
Hmm.
Enzo, we have overboardedly paid the money.
Yeah,
Caicedo, we have gone overboard with the money. Mudryk is
yeah.
not how much, 87 million, how much, 90 million, whatever the price
Okay.
was. He's
I'm
not he's
glad
not
you.
at 87 million, maybe
I'm
20, 30,
glad you
40.
I'm glad you brought that up because in the idealistic world or where you can actually go and haggle a price on your own, that can hold sway. But this is football. Football in Europe, certainly in this country, is a multi-billion dollar industry. It's full of people that are pure capitalists. They want money. So you want the best, they will force you to pay the best. And if you don't pay the best, somebody else will pay the best. So Chelsea, because we have the financial muscle, we didn't want to inflate the market, but we want the best. And we went for it. And this is why the word amortization came in, which they've now tried to turn into a swear word. Chelsea bought the best, and in respect to your FFP rules, amortize these players on long contracts to try and stick within the regulations. And now they're being demonized for it. Oh, Chelsea are twisting the rules. No, we're not. We're playing the game. We're doing everything legitimately. So, yes, I don't believe Caicedo is worth 115 million, nor the Chelsea. But what could they do? They took months to do that deal to keep it under 100. And just at the cusp of when it was about to go through, Liverpool thought they'll come in flexing financial muscle and dropped 105 or is it 115 or 110 million, and of course, it all went up. So Chelsea had to say, okay, well, that's the market we're in now. We've got a good relationship with this guy. We'll stick with the guy. We'll drop 115 because we both need and want the player. I see nothing wrong with that. Sometimes in life that has to happen. We've had to pay over the odds, but every big team does these days. But they target us. You get English tax for English players, then you get top five or top four tax. Then there's the Chelsea tax
But
and the
so
Man United tax.
Arsenal
All right,
signs
I'm gonna
Rice
give
for
you.
a
I'm gonna
less
give you
price
guys
than
just about
Caicedo.
2 minutes to round up so that we can get
Yeah,
on to the match preview, match review proper. Go ahead with
yeah.
what
I'm
you guys were
sorry,
saying.
Coach. I
No, no, you
I
don't have to
have
be
to.
sorry. It's a good
I,
conversation, but it's just that we
I
going
think
back and forth topic.
I
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's important that this is made clear, that someone makes it clear. I think the fan base know this. Yeah, I do apologize. I did mention intelligence before, and I think that was an overreach. And I'm a passionate guy for Chelsea. I speak my mind, and sometimes you shouldn't always speak your
So are we,
mind.
sir. So are
But
we.
oh yeah, I appreciate it. We got some really solid Chelsea fans here, and I'm proud of you all. I'm glad you are. We
But
got
my
some
question to
young
you
men.
is, sir. My question to
Yeah,
you is, sir. c-
yeah.
Do you agree that the owners could have and the sporting directors could have spent the 1 billion more judiciously? That's my question, because I don't think so. They have spent the 1 billion at the right direction,
Well,
not for
you
every player, but for more players like Marco Kurela signing. I don't get it. Excel Dasasi, I don't get
yeah.
it. Ugo
My
Chuku, what he's
answer
doing.
My answer to that is quite simple. Yes, you can always do things better, but let's look at what happened. The club was sold in a hurry because of the embargo on the ownership and because of the club having to be sold before it was forced into liquidation. And so within that hurried sale, the ink of the contract hadn't even dried when the transfer season was upon us. And one of our owners, who's not a football person, had to do his best to bring in the players that were much needed at the club. So he tried his best from the little he knew. Barcelona was running rings round him for some players. His manager really wasn't being that helpful. And so he, got a little advice here, got a little advice there. He learnt on the job. And he will be the first person to tell you that, okay, I made some mistakes with some players that we bought, but we have to use that as collateral damage. After that, about almost a year after, he was able to put his sporting directors in place who are now doing the deals. So could it have been spent better? Yes. Did we have a choice? I'm not sure we did, and I think it's probably a bit unfair on them to put that one on them. I think we have to give this whole thing about another good 2, 3, maybe 4 years before we start picking holes in it, because they're really trying to get us back on our feet after we were hit hard. That sanction was a horrible blow. We couldn't even trade for months. People that had nothing to do with Roman and were just simply making money in and around Chelsea as Chelsea traders were stopped from plying their trade. Fans could not even go to the stadium to watch their team. The team could not even had a limited amount of money to travel, to the point where the owner, where the coach was offering to take the players in a seven-seater car if needed. We went through a crisis, and they came out the other side. So right now we need to band together as a fan base. Yes, criticize, but criticize objectively with the aim to support the team. Let's give this some time. And then, if after 4 years foolishness is going on, believe me, I'll be right behind you calling people out. Trust me. I do that without reservations. But for me right now, I think all this is a little bit premature. Honestly, with all due respect to everyone, I think it's very premature.
So that
All
means
right.
you're okay with not having Champions League for two
Let's
consecutive
move on.
seasons.
Let's move on. I think we will actually schedule a show where we talk about the project so far. Just the project so far. That would be an excellent title. I think soon we'll get to probably have a space between now to before January 1st. I think we can do a show. We discuss the project so far. Everybody, you bring your A game and maybe do an open panel that day. I'm sorry, Tiger.
This guy, what's his name? What's your name again?
Tiger is his name.
Tiger. Big up, bro. It's good.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's all love, and I'm sure Tiger
Big
knows.
up, sir. I heard your
Tiger
podcast on Jerry D's channel. Big up, sir. Big up.
Sorry,
insightful.
Tiger, what did you say?
They had a podcast, right? Jerry Z and this Blue Board analysis.
Oh
Big shout out.
Excellent discussion.
Excellent
Sorry,
podcast.
Tiger,
Insightful.
Sorry, Tiger. I'm an old man. I've
Not to
been
be
with
sorry,
Chelsea
sir.
for
Don't
so
be
many
sorry.
years.
Not at all. No.
We
We learn from each other, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go delete
It's
my
just
message
love.
on Jerry Z's podcast because he didn't respond. So I'm gonna go delete my comment there. And Glenn is in the house. Big up to you, Glenn. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. I hope you're doing well. Much respect to you. I hope you're recovering well from your situation. And let me just say, dealing well with it. Much love to you. And this is for you, Glenn. Glenn says, big up Coachella and the legends in the chat. Lateness is greatness, they say. I agree with you. Hope everyone has been doing great. I've been great. I can't complain. And any day above ground is a good day. Anything else here? We move on. We need some experience in January if this board was wants to stop being a laughing stock. I think we'll sign. I've talked about that enough. The fate can be restored with a charity in a vision, a good communication from the powers that are, and appreciation of fact that fans are an integral part of the club's stakeholders. They started a program that allows them, that will enable them. You can say have good understanding of the fans. How the fans see the club's situation or everything the club does. I can't quite remember, for lack of a better way to explain that. We talk about lack of experience, but let's take a look at Sanchez, Silva, Colwell, Kuku, Gallagher, Casado, Stalin. These guys not all a Premier League experience. That's more than half the team. And here's the thing, I think it makes sense. And even I'm guilty of that too sometimes. Of using, yes.
Sorry to cut you, sir. But I just wanted to say the comment by In Life No Limits. You also have to look about what kind of experience, the quality of experience. A guy can play for 10 years for Luton Town, but we won't count that to be top Premier League experience, do we? Sanchez is not top PL experience guy. He didn't even start for Brighton this season when we brought him. Silva is a legend. Colwell was on loan to Brighton. What kind of experience you are talking about? No first team, experience. A lot of first team experience, but he played like a CB. Now he's playing like a LB. Cucurella, I don't want to talk about that guy. I mean, directionless running, won us a Champions League game. That's the only forte, I guess. He did well. Gallagher is again the captain, so yeah, I can agree. Caicedo also has not shown the potential, and he's still young. So Sterling, and we all know how Sterling is, inconsistent. So the guys you mentioned, 2 or 3 of those guys are not experienced in terms of quality. They just have appearances under their had, but no quality appearances. They've not done enough on the pitch, especially Sanchez and Cucurella.
Yeah, and just as
That's
responding
it.
to that from another perspective is this: sometimes we use our experience and age interchangeably without knowing that, yeah, they differ. Sometimes people say your experience because of say going by your age and not by how many times you've done that particular stuff in question, for lack of a better language. There, I'm going to catch up quickly so we get into the match review quickly. People responding. Let's see what else here. Anything else? I'm sorry, people. I just have to scroll to the very bottom. I'll try the best I can to get your subsequent contributions in the chat. Let me see if there's any OG here says anything I'd like to read. I would have joined yesterday, Coach, but I barely kept my eyes open during the same the game. Yeah, I understand. Get your sleep, man. You need it. I was waiting for Bobby to call like a great Didi. You see. I am smelling something suspicious. Why have you benched put who? Ty knows he can come in, but I just wanted us to get over with that particular topic and start talking about the match proper. So, unfortunately, people, I'm going to scroll to the very bottom and then I'll get your subsequent contributions in the chat. Poch had 14 red cards in his playing career. It all makes sense now. Coach, we need, and by the way, the blue tip again, we need better comment section presentation on the panel. I feel that these Poch inners don't represent us accurately. Coach, can you make some Poch style substitutions? We had the poll up. I think it was 50-50. And I think one CFC mod did 40,000 plus participants. I think more people wanted Poch in. But Chama, nice to see you, the queen of the house. I appreciate you finding the time to join. I hope you're doing well. Chelsea, all the way saying we should appreciate Casado for playing out the position he has done more than expected. For me, the moment, what's his name? Romeo Lavia is fully fit. I think he should be our sitting six. I think Casado is more of an 8 than he is, or box to box than he is a sitting six. I think Coach is too scared to read the comments. You think I am? Okay. I'm quite sure you know me better than that. Experience is experience. Quality is another issue. I just simply wanted to address that misconception that we lack experience. The Sassi and Badiashile have over 100 games each playing for Monaco. Yep, starting together. Alfie Gikris diving header. How did I miss that? First to that ball was me at Christmas dinner. Kid looked like he's mixed a Monster and a Red Bull before coming up for that game. They bring some best baseball players in a late Dodgers are paying them 60 million per year. What about Chelsea? You've talked about this before, and I responded by letting you know baseball is different. The salary, you can say, should I call it salary approach is different to that of football, if that makes sense. I'm not sure how else to respond to that. That poll was rigged. It wasn't. And I've told you on Beautiful Game, you're both going to hell. Ty has shared the links to his YouTube channel. Please go check it out. Let's help him get to 2,000 subscribers as soon as possible. And more importantly, I want him to get monetized. That way, he'd be motivated to do even more. Now he has the opportunity, and I think he has a good frequency now. I think he averages about 3-4 videos a week, which is good, and they're all enjoyable. Go check him out. Let's help him grow. With the moment the holiday is over, I think he'd be doing less. Which is understandable because of his school. Casado coming out of high fever, and also I think he played well. If that was COVID, I can understand why he was having problems running. Yeah, didn't run that much as I expected him. But that's why let's talk about the game proper. Is it this one? It's that one. And we've talked about Chelsea signing a 17-year-old, which is a sign they're now changing. Should I call it the basics of the project?
Profit-making schemes.
Yeah, Ty, let me come to you. Your observation, do you think it was a deserved winner? Do you think we were lucky? For instance, Eugene is saying penalty saved us. To me, we deserved that penalty. It was the right call, and we played well. But the usual story, it wouldn't be a Chelsea game without the usual story. We created good chances and then, yeah, did the usual with it. But let's say you Ty. Big up to you and thank you for finding the time to join the panel.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, and I'd rather you start talking once I've given you the floor, because it would take another 20 seconds for what I say to get to you and you start speaking. But go ahead, Ty.
Okay. All right. So, basically, yeah, this match, well, if it was a lucky win, I would say somewhat yes, because the penalty did save us. That's the fact. That the penalty being scored was the reason why we got the 3 points. The game started off, and well, both halves started with Crystal Palace being on the front foot and Chelsea struggling with the high press that Crystal Palace had. So I would say that it was a bit of luck. I mean, and as you said, it wouldn't be a Chelsea game if the classical and the regular story isn't there, that we created chances but we didn't finish. And I mean, the start in itself shows how negative that is. The fact that we create so many chances and we can't convert. We had opportunities where players were just unlucky. We had opportunities where players did their best and other players let them down in terms of getting them an assist or finishing what they would have gifted to them. So yes, it was a difficult game. It was harder than it needed to be, because we actually created the opportunities and we should have had a comfortable lead before. Olise would have scored before the first half ended. So we made it harder for ourselves and we made it a very difficult battle. And Crystal Palace were visibly obvious that they believed that they could get a win, and you couldn't blame them because they were on the front foot in the second half as well. But Pochettino did some nonsense. I have to be honest, he did nonsense and he deserves criticism, because I mean the substitutions that he made, it was weird. I don't understand some of the things he did. He played Gusto on the left momentarily for the second half when he was so influential on that right, and he took off Ian Masson and Madueke came on. So I guess that worked out because Madueke would have been key to getting the 3 points. But the substitutions took some time. It was confusing, him playing Nkunku wide when Nkunku obviously was to play centrally, and it was clear because he kept being narrow, and then you see the whole team looking very narrow and tight spaced, and that became an issue. And I think, and I like to hope that Pochettino would have recognized that, because he made back the change of Gusto on the left and then gifted Nkunku the opportunity to be more central. But as you mentioned about Lavia being our six, that is one thing that it was good to see, because Casado isn't really that sitting midfielder. He's more of a box to box, a player that's, as you said, an 8. So it was good to see somebody that could have granted him the opportunity to be more advanced and not have to sit deep, but also have to sit deep to support in a double 6. But I'm happy that Gallagher actually played in his natural position or higher for the first time consistently, or in a somewhat for a longer period than in the most of the games that he's played. But it'll be interesting to see what happens with Lavia. I'm hoping he didn't get injured, because there was some scare at the end of the game, I believe.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Lavia being fully fit. I think he'll be all right. I think that's the issues he had was, you could say, not in my opinion, it's no different from Christopher Nkunku not playing 90 minutes. That's because it's not match fit. But that's just my opinion. For more opportunities to troll coach sub and like our sister channel, a soccer perspective. I think the schedule became a bit you could say not organized. Like we don't we started doing weekly match preview, you could say Premier League weekly previews and also predictions, and we had to stop because the games are everywhere right now, which means if we want to keep up with it, we'd be doing every 2 days or so. But hopefully I'll figure out a way to cover that. But thank you for saying that, even though you're calling for people to come have a go at me there. 2 more subscribers to get to 18,100 subscribers. It's looking like we're going to reach 20,000 subscribers by the time the January transfer window ends. Let's see. Mudryk finally plays and shows a white pouch is silly for benching him. I have to say this. I don't blame Poch in that because he's been injured on occasions when we expected to see him on the pitch. So I don't blame Poch entirely for him being out of the team. Colton, nice to see you. Everyone needs to grow up. It's time for Chelsea to go on a very long run and not be beaten. Okay, we are getting too used to losing games. It must stop now. Okay, I hope the manager sees that. Playing left back, let's see what else we have here. Madueke should have started instead of Matson at a right winger, where yeah, he never played before. I think we did talk about that during the pregame show. We did talk about ask questions why Madueke was starting Matson was starting and Madueke on the bench, and we thought maybe because what's his name? Matson can also play in the 10 role and maybe more of the creator. You can say more of a creator than Madueke is. But I think the manager he's sent it himself. It didn't work really. Smash the like button, people, and also do subscribe to the channel. 60 likes. Let's see if we can get it to 100 by the time the show ends. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show here. Anything else to address? Let's see. Like and subscribe, people. Let's make it happen. Let me in a bit I'll find time to make a Tiger a mod there. He should be a mod. He wasn't injured all season. Let's see what else we have. Yeah, I agree, but on occasions you can say he's been injured more than once since he joined Chelsea. Even under Pochettino, actually didn't start the preseason because he was nursing an injury. I get it. The English young Lions made it. Made it to the final of the on you can say, was it under 21 Euro competition and all that, but he got injured also. And Chimerai says, I am not on the Madueke hype train. This player lacks game awareness in my opinion, and still has a long way to go. We need 2 new signings in the summer after we get rid of Jackson and Stalin. I think Jackson isn't going anywhere. Notice how Poch literally compromised the whole team end game just to give Gallagher a full 90 minutes yet again. You see blackmailing Poch. You see in possession of picks of here's the thing. I'm just going to say this. Gallagher did well yesterday. He was actually one of you can say best performance, especially in the first half. Big up to you too, Tiger, again. Mentioning okay, I'll do pick
Ask
in.
him who he would have played instead of Gallagher.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah, and let me ask you. Yeah, the beautiful game. I think I agree with Bobby on this one. Who would you have started over Gallagher? Let's hear you. Pick initially, Jude. Jude, again, when you get a chance, share the link to your YouTube channel so people can go check it out. We didn't meet as planned, and you didn't actually send a message to remind me. If you did, I'm sorry. Lots of messages from Niger there. I said Nani needs to put more work to play. And happy he said yesterday that Nani was angry with him for not playing him. And we thought that was going to be the case. That was because Matson started over him. Hence the reason for the good performance. If he's going to be performing well for coming off the bench, I want to see that more. Madueke isn't a finished project, but he needs to play to gain experience. They all need consistent game time. Mudryk, we knew Mudryk needed that, and I think it's paying off. Jackson isn't going anywhere. Yep, I know that. I think I feel the same way too. We need Olise, Wahi, and Gabri. If we pay attention to Eugene, would sign every good player there is available on the market in the coming transfer window. Honestly, Madueke has never gotten a run of games, so injury still out on him, but jury's still out on him, so to speak. He has plenty of potential, and I think he needs to play. Yeah, as a young team, we
Honestly,
should be more.
from the
Sorry.
little we saw of him, this new revitalized Madueke, he looked better than Olise to me. If I'm truthful, the guy looked a better player. So there's a lot to come from him, but he's got to be consistent. And you're right, we haven't seen enough of him. It's okay
Yeah.
to have a cameo performance and be great, but you've got to do that week in, week out. That's the barometer of a good player.
And Coach Poch not starting him at the right wing over Matson, I don't get it. Like,
Yeah, we didn't
why
like
would
that
a
either
manager
during the
want?
pregame. Go ahead.
Like, out of my head, no. Why would you not start Madueke? I mean, he has cost you money, A. B, he is one of the only good wingers you have on the bench. And if I'm not wrong, he was acclaimed to be one of England's best talents at the wing, upcoming
He
Madueke
talents.
is actually.
himself is
He
still
is.
recovering from injury. He's just
Yeah,
coming
so I'm
back.
not going to blame the manager entirely. He's been injured on occasions, and that hasn't helped his case. But that's just my opinion anyway. As a young team, should be more energetic and adventurous. Yep, I think JC has said something similar. Free the kids. Free the kids. Kids, footballers that are still this young, they're no different from the kids you bring up again. You raise at home. Kids, if you give them freedom to express themselves, they're happier. They do more. But if you shackle them, either you can say unintentionally, or I don't know how else to phrase that, they'll do things, but probably in grumpy manners. If you force them to do things, they do it in a grumpy manner. So you're better off allowing them the independence to express themselves. So I agree. We can get more of this team if you give them the freedom to express themselves. Yeah, tactics is important, but you need to allow them a bit of freedom to be who they want to be. But we cannot maintain intensity for over 45 minutes a game. Yeah, that's become a pattern now. Poor management. You could be correct. Bettinelli over Gallagher. Oh, Nani is one of our few players that can dribble. We need to build his confidence. Jackson made good turns. Jackson actually did good. He was one of our better players yesterday. Created two excellent chances that are those that are got at the end of the chances he's created, fluffed it. Like he's better playing from behind the striker as a second striker. I think we've had that conversation where he plays in the 10 role, but application being that of a second striker, he did well in my opinion. Why did we look totally different in the second half? I'm not too sure. I need to watch that game even more. I would have started a training a mannequin there. No difference. Let's see what else we have here. I need Miguel. Okay. Jackson is only going to see. I'm not saying that with Ugochukwu and Lavia's fitness, Santos has a shot when he returns in January, possibly, and he's good enough to, you can say, stake a claim for a place in the team. Madueke was looking better than Mudryk last season. Mudryk this season, it's a different story. He's done well. How many goals in total? I think around 3 or so. And plus, and that's him playing a few minutes here and there and not starting all the time. Poch doesn't rate him. You can argue that's the case. Breaking news: Pochettino admits a Chelsea star Madueke proved a point with match-winning game. Yep, I think we've read that. But Rich Money, thank you for the update once more. Madueke going to Milan. We'll find out soon. Madueke has tons of game time last season, along with Mudryk on the Potter and Lampard. I disagree with you, not to the extent that one could describe at tons. Potter hates Madrid, and yet it wasn't for him. If it wasn't for him, we would have probably lost that game. Okay, I remember the game you're referencing. Madrid was fit all the times and wasn't used. Poch would always play Sterling over him, no matter how bad Sterling is. I think I agree. And Potter did it too. Madueke gives a sneaky dig at Jackson in the interview with the journalist about we would be in better position if we didn't miss big chances. He said we, so I wouldn't, you could say, interpret it as he did. I think Poch doesn't rate him enough. Having said that, I don't rate Poch too. So yeah, so it goes both ways. So yeah, now everyone wants Madueke to stay. There we go. Everyone was against him, talking I am against him. He's not Chelsea level. Okay, glad that you're being truthful there, because I remember you saying he's never gonna make it. With the fully fit Lavia, Casado, Enzo, and Gallagher, Connie Chukwuemeka too, who would drop out in a 4-3-3 structure. Question for the panel. I really don't want to answer that question. In a 4-3-3, if I were the manager, I'd start Romeo Lavia centrally, and I think I've talked about that before. Of all the players we have, for me, you could say he's the one. You could say he's better than the rest at beating the press, and he will help the team play out from the back effectively. And he's a sort of player that doesn't wait for the pass. Once you're on the ball, once his teammate is on the ball, he makes moves. He's dynamic. He makes dynamic runs. He finds a way to create extra passing lane for the person with the ball, making it easier for them to release the ball and not get into trouble. So he's not static whenever he's on the pitch. He runs around. Once you get the ball, he'll read the situation and then move to a position that will make it easier for you to release the ball. And I like that about him. So Lavia starts centrally, flanked by either Casado or Casado or Lavia on the right, and then on the left, Enzo Fernandez, or who else on the left there?
Coach,
Cole Palmer, actually. Yeah, go
you
ahead.
know me and physicality and how important I recognize it is in the Premier League. What I really enjoyed about Lavia, that as unfit as he was, he came on, and he's not particularly the tallest guy, but the physicality was secure. I loved
Agreed.
it. He came in and there was none of this. It already with Caicedo and Gallagher, you're not pushing us around. But he came in and we took control. And I just noted, I said, wow, we've got this midfield in the bag. And a lot of it was him.
And
He
he helps
played
us
the
do that by
six.
doing the simplest of things.
Oh my
Just yeah,
goodness.
being dynamic with
Oh
his
my
movement,
goodness.
opening up when a player has the ball. Go ahead.
Yes. He took the sixth position like his own. He was there twinning six with Caicedo. Gallagher was then free to go forward and we became strong. They had this tall guy, I think it's Mateta, that was coming in and often, bulldozing Caicedo. That stopped when Lavia came in because he couldn't shift him. And that's what I want from Chelsea. I hate seeing us bullied. I want us to be the bullies, and he certainly will do that. I hope he's not too badly injured, really, again,
No,
because
I
we
don't
need
think
him.
it's anything that serious because he finished the game, and that's for Pochettino's words where he's a bit concerned. So I'm
Yeah,
not too concerned. I was
I mean,
happy he read the game well. He was very
very
vocal.
well,
Yeah.
very well. He's only 19 himself, but I
Is he
mean,
still 19? I think he should be 20 right now.
okay, but he's not
Let me
much
check.
older
I'm
than
not too sure, but even at that, he's still very young.
He's very young. Him and
Yeah.
Chukwemeka, they're about, is it Chukwemeka? What's the Ugo Chukwu? I keep
Carney
calling
should
them
be
each
20
other.
now.
Yeah, well, Carney, I mean, Leslie, they're
Oh,
kids,
Lavia is still
but
19. Sorry.
there you go. But he
Mhm.
is so much more developed than Leslie. He really is. But playing with Leslie, two of them, my goodness, the physicality is solved in midfield. We just have to get them fit.
He was highly rated by, like I read, he was highly rated and personally scouted by KDB and Pep himself. So before enrolling him into the city,
Yeah, but
uh,
the kid
I
wanted to
mean the
play.
talent is there for
Yeah,
everyone to see. I'm highly impressed with Lavia. I mean,
I
I
am.
think we have got our problem solved at the sixth position if he's fit.
Yeah, the midfield area should be the list of our problems,
Yeah, and he can do
except
more.
if we're looking for a traditional 10. Go ahead, Bobby.
He can do more. He can play centrally. He can go
Yeah,
forward. It's
Yeah.
just that he took the six so the others can go. Oh, I like that player, and he's not fit. No, I was impressed. I was impressed. The little he
Mhm.
played, he just gave us another level. And if you notice, as soon as he came on, I think we actually then took control of the game. In my opinion, I don't know. People may not have seen it that way, but
No, I
I
think
was very impressed with him.
he did well. I paid attention to what he was doing. For instance, I've mentioned already how he's not static. He's always looking to make it easier for the person on the ball. And he was vocal, pointing, speaking. I think he will be great for us in that position. Madueke was hurt for 21 days this season. Okay, that overextension of the knee for the pen scared the heck out of me. Yeah, me too. And Constantine Dante is saying Poch doesn't seem to like to reward players for
See,
being
me too.
or doing good. Only the ones that don't perform consistently. No one that's why the inconsistent guarantees game time. I think something else we've talked about here that I didn't like. I want managers that reward performance. even in some cases, you can argue the case wasn't that he was rotating; it was just him preferring other players to
But
the others.
coach, he
Yeah,
did
go ahead.
he did he did bench Mudryk after that good game. So I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. He should have started him
there
next.
are doubts about
Yeah,
Poch
he should have
and how he
started him in the
thinks.
next game. It wasn't like he was
Exactly.
tired. Yeah.
And now I want to see whether Madueke starts the next game.
Um, it, it's don't hold your breath because Sterling will be available for selection.
See,
Uh,
that's what we are
yeah,
saying. He doesn't reward good games. So
we'll
then what's
see.
the point?
Yeah, we'll see. I don't think he hates Chalobah. I think Chalobah's issue is with the club's hierarchy.
Yeah, yeah,
There's
agreed.
a pattern to the way they operate. If they sense it that you want to leave, you're gone.
And I
That's
don't
how I see
understand,
it.
coach, I don't understand why we need a new centre back when we already have Chalobah. Like Chalobah plays well. I mean, he's better
He is
than Axel
actually better than
Disasi
some
every
of the
day.
centre backs we have, but in terms of, I
Yeah.
think he brings balance. Let me just stop at. He brings balance. He's more aggressive than some of them. Some of them, you can say better on the ball with him than him, but he's more aggressive. But go ahead with what you were saying. Sorry.
No, coach, absolutely okay. I was saying this only that Chalova is any day better than Axel Disasi right now, how he's playing. So I don't know why we need a new centre back in Diamande or something like that. Maybe they're again bringing that youngsters in under profit model. They'll sell him after 2 windows. That's actually my concern. And even Eugene mentioned it in the chat. Even Beautiful Game even mentioned. I want to touch just that point in 2 seconds. I have this concern, coach, and the panel and the chat, that I fear that these owners, and this is directly to the owners and the sporting directors, I hope that we get to a stable position in the table. The team plays together and gets the experience, and then we can challenge for the Champions League and stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
hope that will happen. I'm not very sure that we can do that under Poch. He still has to prove himself to fans like me. But I'm personally sure that this squad has a lot of potential, and this squad can actually do very well and can achieve great things, except few people like Jackson and all. They're not the level we need. But anyways, the majority of the squad I'm talking about. But my problem is what happens when these owners start selling players even when they're performing. Like the first installment of that we are going to see is going to happen in January when
I don't think
everyone
so.
is
I'm
saying,
quite sure you're referencing Gallagher's situation.
yeah, not only Gallagher. So I'm fearing about other people too. What happens when Mudryk starts banging goals and some Real Madrid offer comes for 100 million or something like that?
I
What
don't
what
think they
happens?
sell him.
I personally
I don't
fear
think this.
these
If you're
owners.
banging in goals and you're doing well, I don't think this they sell the player. We know that. I don't think they sell the player. Here's the
I
thing.
just hope so.
Yeah,
But I
no, they
fear that
will not.
happening.
They will not. Even the reports that we're seeing saying that are saying that club will sell Gallagher because it's pure profit. To me, it's just absolute horse dung, in my opinion. And I call it
Exactly.
horse dung because here's the thing. They know fully well that that's a believable way to phrase the story, and people will you can say suck up to it. As for me as an individual, Gallagher, whether he stays or goes, I don't really care that much. And that's not me. I've never. He's not my. You can say he's not my. My. You can say my. One of my favorite players at Chelsea. But the truth remains, no matter how you see it, whether you think he's a bad player or not, he's been one of our best performers since the season. And as you
Exactly.
can see, he's the manager's most important player. Whether you think he's been awful or crappy, whatever language you want to use, the manager selects him week in, week out. That shows you he's one of his most important player. And something else, yeah, shocking, right? What he offers the team, no other player can offer. That industry, that person, that energy he has, no one else right now. And until we sign someone else who can offer that and offer more, if you think the club are going to sell him, you're not telling yourself the truth. They risk falling out with the manager if they do that. And I don't think they do that. Honestly,
And another evidence to that is when Gallagher didn't play, you saw how badly we missed him.
if that is if people will
When he
accept
had his
that.
suspension.
Yeah. So even if you think he was that poor, we missed him against one of those games. His energy, that's because the manager, his entire approach to the game right now, you can say it evolves around Gallagher. What's the correct? I think, yeah. But that's, by the way, I will move on from that. I haven't heard anything with regards to the status of Enzo Fernandez injury. Nothing there. As well as we
he
have
was
here,
on the bench. He was on the bench yesterday watching the
was he
game.
on the bench or
Yeah. He was in the he was
sitting
in the
behind the
stands with
bench
Cole
yesterday?
Palmer. Yeah, not on the bench. Sorry, he was
Not
in the
on the
stands
bench,
with
but
Cole
behind the
Palmer earlier.
bench.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, behind the bench.
Plan for Madueke was if he makes it, we will keep him. If not, we'll sell him. Let's see what happens. Lavia is not tall, but he's a tank. He can be physical. You can muscle him up the ball easily. The board, like Madueke and even Frank Lampard, told the board that they needed to keep him. If Poch tries to get rid of him, he will lose his job. Possibly, but I'm not sure what's going to happen. Chalobah is getting the same treatment like Aubameyang, the club directives. Because he pushed to join Bayern Munich, in my opinion. Be careful what you wish for. It's bye-bye. We'll find out. If you think it's going to live for January, I don't want to sound like every time I like to bet money. And that's not me saying he's my favorite player at Chelsea. He's not. In my opinion, he's not the worst either. He's been in the gym 6 months, pushing iron. Let's see what else you have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The team, even with injuries, is better than 10th. Isn't why Poch is making excuses, talking about experienced players. Get the best out of what you have. We have to make do with what we have. I agree with you. The panel are making all the right noises, but they are inadvertently saying Poch is indeed a fraud. Just go away. Do you think Casade and Santos will be another loan, or is any of them ready to come next season? I think his thing. I think we're gonna need one more addition there. I'm not sure who. That's because I think the manager by now must have learned that we seem to struggle to control games or to dictate the pace of
At,
the game when
at the
Enzo
mo-
isn't playing.
If you're
at the
not buying
moment,
anyone, maybe.
Casade
Sorry,
stands at the moment. Casade stands a better chance of coming in next season
I agree.
than Santos at the moment because
Mhm.
Santos isn't playing.
Yeah, I agree. And Casade has done well at Leicester City. He scored, I think, last 2 games he scored a goal. Plus, he's the sort of player, if we mess around, he's going to leave. But I'm happy the last time he was interviewed, he said something to the effect of his future lies at Chelsea, that he will. This is something that you could interpret that he's confident he will make it at Chelsea, for lack of a better way to phrase that. Do you think? Yeah, I think Casade has a chance. Santos right now, I'd say no, because he hasn't played since he joined. Nottingham Forest. Flick saw the second half and slid into ball his DM and said, "Bro, what's up?" I don't think Flick would do well in the Premier League. It will be helter scatter for him, because he's so. I don't. He's not pragmatic enough to do well in the Premier League, in my opinion. But we'll wait. One day he'll probably come to the Premier League and we'll find out. Except if he changes. This guy just doesn't like the owners. How about Poch gets these players to perform before we get there? I think he can, but it would take time. Rich James Kingdom saying if Jackson isn't at Chelsea level, then surely Gallagher isn't. Yeah, the same energy, in my opinion. Owner said Gallagher was surplus since the summer. So I don't know. You
Then
speak
why
with
make him a
Bolly and
captain?
Co.
That's
I
my
don't
only
know that. I
question.
don't know. Kishan speaks with Bolly and Co. A week ago, fans saying if we sack Poch, who's in the right mind to take this job? I think that narrative has now changed. Unfortunately, I don't think so. I don't think so. It will still be a manager, you can say, who hasn't achieved much. It would be difficult to get a top level manager to take this job right now. You buy Casado 112 million, Enzo 100 million. You're not getting more for those players, selling them even if they perform. Yeah, exactly. It's as simple as that. Stop the cap. We have played badly when he's playing too. But that's besides the argument. If you paid attention, so Wet Take, honestly, you don't understand the argument I made there. So Let's see. We are both tend crying out loud. Okay, we agree. Even the real Captain Rhys James in the chat saying Gallagher is not it. He's entitled to his opinion. In my opinion, Coach Gallagher is standing out because we are that bad. That's another way to see it, and I think you've heard me say that too. The bar is so low, but give him credit. The numbers say he's been one of our better performers so far this season. You have to give him credit, and we can't do otherwise. I don't know what else to say there. But I'm not going to get into that argument. We have a game to review. We haven't even gotten into it. That's crazy. Poch thinks he can unlock the old Starling, but that hasn't worked. You can say that. But that's, by the way, let's hear you. Showtime. I appreciate you finding the time to join the panel today. And this is for you. How have you been, brother? I hope you're well. Let's hear you. Your take from that game. Do you think it was a deserved win, or do you think we were lucky? It's a lot of people think so. We can get into looking at the numbers and other things. Let's hear you.
Oh well, first and foremost, thank you for having me on, man.
Big up to you, brother. And I wish you a happy new year in advance. I know we haven't seen you in a while. I hope you've been okay.
Yeah, it's I could say I'm just like the Chelsea team, inconsistent when it comes to getting on talks. But regarding some takes that were taken, I mean, listen, I've said this already. Pochettino is a small manager. He hasn't won nothing. The only thing he lifted was probably a French Cup. So you hired a small manager compared to the managers we had previously. You went from a small man. You went from a baby manager in what's his name, Potter, to a small manager in
He's not
Pochettino.
a small manager, dude.
He's a
Let
small
him
man.
finish.
He's a small manager,
Sorry,
bro.
go on.
He's a
No worries.
small
Let him finish. Go ahead.
that team that from Tottenham, what has he won with them in the Premier League? Nothing. I mean, you can't equate anything that we've won to anything that Pochettino's won as a club. Second of all, I think that he is on thin ice here. I mean, the fans in itself is inconsistent. We say one week when we play poorly, fire Poch. The next week when we win, oh, it's the players, it's the this, it's the that. We're making excuses for Pochettino and his lackluster ability to make sure this team is playing consistently at top flight. Players like Palmer, he is also inconsistent. Sterling, inconsistent. It starts with the manager and what is being conducted within in-house. I think we need to do in-depth documentary on what goes on in Chelsea because at the end of the day, this is not consistency. We're struggling. Under the great Abramovich, this would never have happened. 10th, and sitting at 10th for how long and no production and no movement in the table, only going down the table and then come back to 10th, he would have been gone. But we have new owners and we have to deal with it. I think when it comes to Chalaba, he's hurt. They say he's hurt, but I think that Badia Shield should be the first one out the door if you want to talk about center backs going. I will keep Chalaba. I'm not gonna lie. Chalaba is proven in the Premier League and he has done well when he has his opportunities. Uh, Yesterday's game, we played okay. We could have played way better. The inconsistencies in the game flow at that it's really Thiago Silva too, man. He's starting to do mental errors and it's starting to get to us. It's starting to affect us. Badia Shill, his touches on the ball. Once he gets the ball, he loses his feet. He doesn't know where the ball is at his feet no more. He has to look down like a kid and check before he has to make a move. It's the inconsistency in play. I think that our 100 million and our 110 million midfielder that we spent money on are not even up to date. I think Ikwechuku, when he even come, he played better than Enzo. Enzo, we waste money on Enzo. He hasn't been good. I don't know what Enzo gives us. And we complain about Gallagher. Gallagher what? Gallagher is the person that's been playing. We had Mason Mount. Gallagher is doing way better than Mason Mount has done. If we praise Mason Mount for his work ethic and his ability, and then but we see Gallagher doing the same thing, and then we criticize Gallagher. No, Gallagher has been our best player this whole year. I agree on that, and I stand on that. Our striker Jackson, he is. I guess I got to give him. He had a baby. He just had a baby. So you know when you have kids and you just have kids and stuff like that, it may affect your routine, the schedule changes and stuff. I understand that, but good gosh Almighty, man, he needs to do more. He needs to be better. Broha too. Broha, he plays too timid for me in my liking, man. Bro, you have so many opportunities, but you're thinking before the action come. Too much thinking. Get out your head and play. Everything's gonna flow. Lavia, he came on. I don't think he was fit enough for this game. I don't think I would have played him this game if I was the manager. But look, I'm at home. Pacino's on the bench. I'm not the manager. I don't think he was fit enough to play for this game. I
Bro, you
just
All
think
right.
seriously believe?
Go ahead. You wanted to sort of respond? Go ahead, Tiger. So we get into the nitty gritty of the whole thing. Go ahead,
No,
Tiger. You wanted to respond?
yeah, yeah. I just wanted to highlight 2 points. First, I said it in a joke. Poch is not a small manager. He led a French word
No, I knew you were being
Tottenham's
sarcastic.
southwest team. Yeah, I was being sarcastic. And second, man, what are you saying? You don't know what Enzo brings on the table? He's clearly world class. Have you not seen him play under Potter? Have you not seen him play when he used to be used in a position where he wants to play, like a central midfielder? And Enzo is clearly the best midfielder we have got. What are you saying, bro?
I disagree. I don't think what he does in the
And you
past.
have every right to disagree. Let's not make
I
that the
don't think no,
topic.
but look, what he did in the past before he came to Chelsea is not what we're seeing now. Despite the positions that he's playing, he's not. You cannot tell me that he's adjusted well to the Premier League. He has not.
Have you
Enzo
not
has not
seen?
adjusted well to the Premier League. Whether or not he's
Let's
playing
just
out of
move off
position or
that
not,
topic. The main
world
question I
class
asked
players play
was his
best in
observation
any
from the game,
situation that
whether
they're
he
given.
thought it was whether he thinks it was a deserved win or whether we were lucky. Let's move on, Tiger, please, if you don't mind.
Yeah, not an issue. But I personally think that not rewarding Enzo. I mean, maybe difference of opinion, but yeah. Well, let's move on.
Yeah, but but thank you.
I don't know what to
Uh,
say.
I give Gallagher credit for his improvements. Gallagher is I'm not doing that, but I'm more concerned with why our other players aren't performing. We see. I really miss. Okay. You can. I mean, he has other things he's doing right now. If Everton could sign Ancelotti, the Chelsea, then Chelsea can get any top coach they want. Let's stop limiting our chances. But with it make sense to sack the manager right now? In my opinion, you have every right to think we should immediately. I don't think so. It's like being the tallest midget. Like, okay, do you want a cookie? Just go away, man. Exactly. People are taking away a manager's accountability. You can argue that that's the case. Let's see what else we have here. Poch hasn't. Okay. He's not a small manager. I'm gonna scroll to the very bottom, people, and then I'll try to get your subsequent contributions in the chat. I can't read everything. I enjoy interacting with you, but if I try to do that, that'd be the rest of the thing. The only thing we'll do for rest of the game. Let's hear you. Your observations from the game, Steve-O. I hope you're doing well. A deserved win, or do you think we got lucky?
Hi, coach. How you doing? Can you hear me?
I can't complain, brother. Big up to you. Any day above ground is a good day.
That's good. That's good. Hi, everyone else on the stream. Hope everyone's doing good and compliments of the season.
Big up, bro. Big up.
Same to you.
Yeah, big
Yeah.
up, guy.
In regards to the game, I feel like we definitely deserve to win. You could say, yes, things were a bit, what you call it, things got a bit more difficult because we decided to make it that way. But in terms of the general, like, outplay of the game, I feel like we deserve to win. But Crystal Palace as well, they did have their chances. But then in the first half, particularly, before, because I feel like Nkunku, just like I'm sure everybody would agree with me, I feel like Nkunku is still getting back to himself, even though he scored and everything, and we've seen moments of brilliance. I'm very sure everyone here knows Nkunku is a much better player than like what we've been seeing. So like I feel like in the first half, Nkunku was very bright. Like that was the real Nkunku, even though he could even be better. And he was linking up very well with Jackson. And then in the second half, he kind of like slowed down a little bit, which is understandable because he's lacking match fitness and whatnot. But like I was really impressed with how the team played in the first half, especially what's his name? Gusto. Gusto was very excellent. Like
I
Gusto,
think he maintained that you can say tenacity throughout the game.
Yeah, like the moment they moved Gusto to the left, if you guys noticed, first of all, Mateta, the passes they were giving to Mateta, which he was able to outrun Badiashile, that was stopped because Gusto was on that wing. Olise as well, his influence, even though he was still dribbling and crossing here and there, his influence was reduced a bit by Gusto being on that wing because Gusto was able to mark him better than Colwill was doing. So like in general, I feel like Gusto really had a good game. The person who I don't understand what he offered in the game, but he was left on the pitch for the longest is Matson. Like Matson was being played as a right winger and he didn't do anything in the whole game. He had two chances. The chance at the beginning of the game that he toe poked it and then the defender cleared off the line, and then the one I think Gusto caught the ball back to him and he tried to shoot and it went wide. That was all he did. And all those chances were before the 20th minute. And from then till like 70 something, he did nothing. And I don't know how much Poch needs to, I don't know what Poch needs to see to realize that you have someone like a Madueke who has been begging for game time and he's a natural right winger. Why not start him? I feel like if Noni had started the match, Noni being on the right, Mudryk being on the left, Nkunku being in the middle, and Jackson with how we were playing in the first half, the game wouldn't have been as close as it was. Like we would have put Crystal Palace down. Like that first half would have been at least 2-0 before the halftime or 3-0 because Martin wasn't offering anything. But apart from these little observations, I feel like it's a step in the right direction. I was just a little bit sad to see the stuff about Lavia after the game, but I'm
But
very sure.
we don't know how the severity of whatever it is, because he finished the game. It
Yeah,
wasn't taken off. Yeah.
yeah. I believe he would be fine. I believe he would be fine. But like, at least it was just good to see people who because I don't know about everyone here personally, because I'm very sure some of us might have favorites in terms of the players and everything. Personally, for me, Nkunku and Lavia are like pretty much my two favorite players in Chelsea. So to see both of them on the pitch after I've been waiting for like 5-6 months, it was really nice. But like, like um I just feel like it's a step in the right direction. And I don't know what you guys have to say about this. This might be a bit controversial, but I heard the last speaker say something about Badia Shield and Trevor Chalobah. I can't lie. I was never on the Trevor Chalobah um bandwagon. I always felt like he was the last in our defensive pecking order and he needed to go. But Badia Shield has been stinking up the place for the last 3 games in a row. And I really don't know if it's a wise decision to be letting Trevor go if Badiashile is doing all of this. So
Here's the thing, with regards to that, I think Badiashile will be fine. He's an excellent player. At most, he's 21, isn't he? At most,
yeah,
he's
he's quite
21.
he's very
Is he
young.
better than Chalaba? If he's a good, if he's better than
Here's the thing,
Chalaba?
I'm not arguing who's better. I don't want
Yeah,
to argue
better than
who's better.
Chalaba, 100%.
Yes, then. But if you ask me to choose one person, I'll take Badiashile over Chalaba. Chalaba is just more aggressive of the two. But
To be
he's
fair,
an
his
intelligent
passes,
player. He's
his passes
excellent
are
on the
good.
ball. He has excellent passing range. And I would say, yeah, he's been shaky of late. But here's the one thing you have to do: compare the good stuff he's done, the ratio of the good stuff he's done to the ratio of the errors he's made. I get it. It's a business of high stakes, for lack of a better language. One mistake could lead to a lot of issues. But it's not been just him. Even Thiago Silva,
His
he's
mistake
made
was about
a few mistakes here and there. Disasi has actually made more than Badia Shile, in my
coach.
opinion. But
Coach
go ahead.
Badiashile's mistake was about to what do you call it, cost us the Newcastle game, if not for the last minute in equalizer by Mudryk.
I'm not going to judge him.
Badiashile,
I'm not going to
but
judge him
but
by
that's
that
but that's
alone.
but
but then
that's true about all the defenders,
the
isn't it?
thing you said, coach, in terms of like he's done more good stuff. I agree with that, but like 3 games in a row, Badiashile has almost cost us 9 points. That has to count for something.
But I wouldn't count it for something to the extent of saying maybe we should consider selling him or keeping Chalobah over him. I want us to keep even Chalobah and keep him too.
To be fair, if there was a way to keep both of
So
them,
then, where you gonna put Fofana then? Because you know
yeah,
we.
that's another
I
problem.
don't know. When he comes back, when we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. But right now, he's not going to come back until 2029.
Worst investment ever, bro.
Yeah, that's another
But
thing. So just 1
but
second. Big up, coach. I am happy with the 3 points, and we need 2-3 players in January, including a centre back, left back, a CDM like Paulinha and Fulham. Let's see what the club does. And we have a True Blue Clay in the house. Big up to you, to the panel. Much love and nice to see you. Let's see what else we have here. Smash the like button, people, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. 66 likes. Let's beef up the likes count. Let's see anything else to address. I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. We haven't even started talking about the game proper. Kachila, we must make a shout out for the referee yesterday. For the first time, I saw a top class referee in the EPL. He was a really top class. Yep. I think he did well. I want to see left back Gusto, Cowell, Silva, Dissect, right back. I'd rather we try a Matson at the left back position, but it's still a risk. I'm not sure. It doesn't look like the manager trusts him. Can anybody explain to me why Cowell keeps getting shown shoehorned into this team at left back? And what's up with Poch subs? I don't know how to again, I'm not Poch's lawyer and I can't help him except getting the red card out. Yep, that penalty was neat, a penalty. I think I watched the replay 10 times, cannot see any contact, not with thigh to ankle. For me, it was a stonewall penalty, in my opinion. I'm not sure what else to say. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. Matson can definitely be a surplus. Not good enough. I think he's good enough. What he lacks is much. You can say he's rusty right now. He's just rusty. You can't just expect somebody to sit on the bench for 999 years and then the 1,000 year you bring him on thinking, expecting him to be firing on all cylinders. Like Tiger said, if we alternate between Gusto and James on the right, that channel will be a danger zone up for the opposition. Yep, that I think I'm not going to start the comparison right now, but I think Gusto actually offers more. I'd say start by saying he's more mobile. Let's just leave it at that. James is more experienced and has achieved more than him, but that kid, we shouldn't take him for granted because he's an excellent player. So I'm going to scroll to the very bottom and let's see a few things from the OGs here. The only answer is I can think he has some clause in that contract. He signed the guy, forgets he's playing left back and keeps drifting in, which was one of the you said the reason why we consider that equalizing goal. Yep. Badu Schiller finally realized he needs to play worse to keep his spot. We are selling Wesley Fofana. Then I don't know what the club does. We'll find out. We heard that we're selling Chalobah and we want to sign another center back. So why not keep Chalobah? I'm not 100% sold on Badu Schiller and Dissect together. I would like to see how Fofana does on the right. If Fofana comes back, somebody has to drop. If he's fully fit and shows the sort of form he showed before he got injured, he's an excellent footballer. He has, you can say, he can be aggressive too, but he's so elegant on the ball that you can't even tell he can be aggressive. I'm not blaming any of the players until I see them play on the real manager, except Gallagher, of course. Just go away, man. Let's see what else we have here. Chelsea the best. Kasson, thank you for saying that. Let's see anything else. That was why Rhys James decided to get injured. He's like, damn, Gusto might get my spot for Real. Let's see. Coach, you said CB instead of striker. When? Okay. But thank you for figuring out that I said the wrong thing when I wanted to say the other one. Fans should be patient with these players. I agree. Anything else? I'm going to stop there at the moment. Let's talk about Malo Gusto, and I'm going to start with you, Tiger. Let's look at his numbers here. He played 90 minutes, and I think he's the top-rated Chelsea player. 8.4. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think he is.
Yeah.
Minutes played 90 minutes. Assists 1. Total shots 0. Accurate passes 92 out of 98. And yeah, 94% pass accuracy. Chances created, 2 chances. Expected assists 0.40. Fantasy point, nothing. We don't need that. Touches 128. Touches in opposition half 1. Successful dribbles 1 out of 3. That's poor. Passes into the final third 3. Accurate crosses 0 out of 1 attempt. Does that make sense? Okay, maybe the assist doesn't count as a cross. I don't know. Accurate long balls 2 out of 3, 67%. Dispossessed 1 time. Tackles 3 out of 3. Wow. Blocks 1, clearances 2, headed clearances 1, interceptions 3, defensive actions 10 in total, recoveries 8. That's a high. Dribbled past 4 times. Okay, that's not good. Dues won 6. Dues lost 7. You can say he you can say contested for a lot. So I'm not surprised at the high number of dues lost. Ground dues won 5 out of 12, 42%. Okay. Aerial dues won 1 out of 100%. Was fouled 1 time. To me, I think he had an excellent game. He led by example. You could say he has that. He has that. You could say he has that attitude to become a leader in this team in the future. But it depends on the players we have at the same time. But he was excellent even when he played on the left, when he played on the right. And the first goal tells you how determined he is. And the kid is just he's still 19, right? Or we looked at it. He's still 19, right?
20.
He started the move with a flick and a turn at the same time when he tried to find Nkunku. And the Crystal Palace defender slipped, and Nkunku still found the ball. And he that started the run actually made it to the left, to the flanks there to get the ball from Nkunku and put in a delicious carpet cross, or you can say carpet ball for Mykhailo Mudryk to put away. Boy, we signed a special player there. Tiger, let's hear you. Then I'll go to Bobby and the rest of the panelists.
Yeah. No, coach, you're 100% right. I mean, and personally, I think yesterday's stats didn't do justice to what Malo Gusto actually was on the pitch, and that's why I say sometimes stats baffle you and puzzle you, and sometimes visual analysis and visual scouting is way ahead than paper-based scouting or number-based scouting, because uh, and this is why I rate Gusto very highly, and not just me. I guess every scout on the planet rates Gusto up there at the top in upcoming right backs, and I can go way beyond and say that he will be one of the best right backs Chelsea Football Club has ever seen, and he would be there in contention with Reece James to be the world's best right back. And some people will say I'm jumping the gun, but it's only time. Time will only put more proof to my statement. He's that good. I had my reservations with Gusto on coach how he attacks. I personally felt he was very good defensively, up there with all the top right backs of the league. But I had my reservations of how he attacks, how he contributes to the attacking play. But yesterday, and not just yesterday, in few other matches this season,
He has
that
3
that
assists in total
reservation
right
also
now,
has been
right?
exactly. His
Yeah,
attacking
go
has
ahead.
been improved this season under Poch. So yeah, I perfectly like him. And is he Reece James yet? Not really. Reece James, I guess, is uh, way better than Malo Gusto in attack and in defense and in the game awareness, but he's just behind Reece James, and now he's attacking too, which is very good for us. The overlapping right back that Poch needs in his system. So yeah, I mean it's good days at the right back position, and I personally think Malo Gusto can be the best right back in the leagues at some point of time if we don't sell him. That's always the case with these owners, like I say. Um, I personally want to highlight that in my own head, I rate fullbacks highly when they defend against the top wingers, right, and the top attacking threats. And I've seen Malo Gusto. The first time I actually noticed Gusto was when he absolutely bullied Mitoma of Brighton. on the
He
flanks.
pocketed him. Yep.
He pocketed him, and that day I realized, okay, we have seriously got some good talent on our hands. But I had reservations on his attacking play, but now he's attacking well also. So it's many a days. It's Christmas for Chelsea at the right back position. I can just say I just want James to be fit, and then as I said in the comment as well, we'll have the best right back depth in the whole of Europe.
And there's a
That good
question on the
is Malo
screen for
Gusto.
you if you can address that.
Yeah, yeah. So if Gusto can replicate SP success at left field, I really don't want Cucurella to play for our club. I'm no hater of him, but I think
No,
he's not.
you're a lover of
He's
him, right? Go ahead.
yeah, yeah. I mean, he's not our level. I'm really sorry.
But go ahead,
He
yeah.
needs to go. He needs to go. Cucurella needs to go. We need to sign some left back. Can Gusto play left wing, left back, and right back? Um, I don't know. He has been not bad, coach, at the left back position whenever Plotch has played him. He has not been like he cannot play. He has not been a Colwell at left back. So I mean he can, but I would prefer signing someone like Gusto, having a lot of potential, but a
Mhm.
proper left back in form of a backup for Chilwell, as in when he departs or if he gets injured in future again. So yeah, I mean I really want Cucurella to go and good left backup to come in rather than Gusto playing the left back. And mind
Here's
you,
some
the
where I'm
beautiful game
concerned.
and everyone in the
Yeah.
panel. I don't think so, coach. Even if Reece James arrive, he'll play like 90 minutes before like 3 4 months of experiencing the field, like having surgery in both of your legs, if I'm right, and
Mhm.
having issues with both of your
I'm
hamstrings.
not sure both legs. I'm
It's
not sure whether it was.
I'm
I
also
just
not
said.
sure. Yeah,
I just know he
it.
went on under the knife.
I
Go
mean,
ahead.
having surgery and returning to football again. It's not easy. And so I personally feel Gusto will be very pivotal of how a season goes this season and the next season, and he will be playing right back for a long time before Reece James actually comes back and takes his spot back again. So
I don't think
I
he takes it
personally
back. I think they will rotate. Otherwise, yes, then if you he Gusto is such a talent that if you don't play him enough, he will seek to leave.
exactly.
And there won't be shortage of buyers because we weren't the only ones that wanted him, and we convinced him to come because we promised him he has a place in the team. If we can rotate and rotate effectively, and I trust Mauricio Pochettino's management, which is what a lot of people have said that's something he's really good at. But beyond that, a lot of people don't trust him in terms of his tactical ability. But go ahead with what you were saying, or tactical knowledge. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just feel that after injury and the injury that Reece James was having, successive hamstring injuries, and now those hamstring were being overlooked by the medical staff or Reece James himself. I don't know really what's the case. And now that hamstring injuries have also given him some knee issues. So now he has undergone a surgery. But look, how he performs is still under a very big question. So I would personally feel, and seeing how Poch reinstates players after injuries, I can vouch for this coach that James wouldn't be given 90 minutes anytime sooner. So it would be a long time before Malo Gusto is benched for Reece James.
Yeah.
That's what I think. He would be reinstated very slowly, and that's what should be done if we really want Reece James to reach the level Reece James was when we won the Champions League and when he was at the peak of his career.
I really did enjoy watching Gusto yesterday. Let me catch up with the chat and I'll call on the next panel to speak about Malo Gusto if they want. Otherwise, if they want to speak about another player, that's fine by me. Gusto is a fantastic player, but he needs to work on his finishing in front of goal. How many opportunities has he gotten? I think you're judging him by that one opportunity against Manchester City. It's funny how people critique Badiashile, who was back after long-term injury. Some people who critique Madueke one day ago, and now he's the best player at Chelsea, tired of flip-flops. Let's see. Trent is scared right now. He should be. Let's see. I know last year, if Gusto starts to cook, it will be over for James. I wouldn't go to that extent. until that happens, we'll find out. James is good, equally good. I think they differ too. Maybe Matson wasn't holding on to physical opponents on the right wing, but I believe he would have matched a pace or for pace with Olise as in the left back position. Maybe, but we didn't see that happen. Did you see what Melchior said? Yeah, and that's you said, and I didn't see it. Can you elaborate? I haven't seen that. You mean a proper left back? So actually can be a backup. Yeah, for me, I would take what's his name? I would take I would take Kukurea over over Ben Chilwell, but Tiger, that's another debate for another day between you and I. You mean a proper left back, actually. Let's see what
Sure.
else we have. Yeah, Gusto showed a bit too much skill. Poch will play him right from now on. But that kid, I appreciate everything I witnessed from him yesterday. But I knew before time that he was that good. His record before we signed him, he had a lot of crosses into the box. Was excellent offensively. I didn't know. I don't know why a lot of people didn't know that. What a player he is. Joking aside, coach, I did say the start of the season, if Gallagher can give me 10 to 12 goal again in total, goal and assist in total, I will retract my statement. I am still waiting. I think he will. He's created a lot of chances, in my opinion. He has more yellows than assists and more reds than goals. I'm looking beyond the goals he scored and his assists. There are other things he does that I like. That's not fair to put such lofty expectations on. Yeah, who you mentioned there, Augusto was so effective first half, second half as left back. He was stifled. You think? I think he was still. He was. He could say he maintained that tenacity throughout the game. Today, Gusto is rated highly. Tomorrow, after a couple of bad games, I'm not like that. I know a lot of people are like that, but not me. Bobby, let's hear you. Malo Gusto, what do you
Yeah,
make of his performance yesterday?
coach. This is the thing, and when an old Chelsea geezer talks, some people get upset. But this is it. Malo Gusto had an excellent game yesterday, but he's a 19-year-old player in development. He has extraordinary talent, just like all the other young players we've got. They're an extremely gifted bunch of players, but they're in the integrating process, they're in the developmental process.
Hmm.
Sometimes they will be world beaters, and sometimes they can throw an absolute stinker. Malo Gusto, sometimes he's been a bit shaky. I must say he's been more of a 7 out of 10 than a 4 out of 10 in every game, but he has shown that he had some learning to do. Now, the outcome of that learning was exhibited yesterday. Will he be consistent? I hope he is, but I also hope that if he dips sometimes, that the fan base that today are waxing lyrical about him don't all get on his back and say he's rubbish and he has to be sold and all that sort of malarkey. He's an excellent player. He's going to be a fantastic rotation with Reece James on the right back, and he's shown he can also play left back. But we've got to allow him to evolve. We've got to allow him to develop, and perhaps not be too carried away when he throws one big performance and raise the expectation for him game in, game out. I thought his performance yesterday was superb, but the next one will take him a game at a time, just like I'll take all of them a game at a time.
Yeah, and not just to conclude, he's an excellent player. Anybody else on the panel want to speak about Malo Gusto?
Coach,
Let's hear you.
in terms of what I said in for the Melchior stuff, Melchior said, and I quote, Malo Gusto had a good game. He set up the first goal, and the kid could handle both sides of the pitch. I had a quick chat with him in preseason, and he told me it didn't matter to him if he was playing left or right. And
Wow.
that was what he said on ESPN.
Yeah, with that statement, I have to give Eugene credit. Eugene at one point suggested we should actually, if Reece James is fit, we should play Gusto on the left and Reece on the right. That would be set. What a player he is. But go ahead if you were still speaking, Steve. Sorry.
So for Malo to be telling that to Melchior in terms of like he doesn't mind wherever he's playing, either on the left or right. that already like says a lot about like his ability and his versatility. And I fully agree with what the last panelist said in terms of most of our players being in their developmental stage and the need to give them time to develop as they should rather than um, pressuring them and everything if one game doesn't go as planned, all those kind of things. But yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, Gusto is an excellent player. Just quickly again, imagine having the two best right backs that can play together. James right centre back and Gusto right back. And if we play with our three at the back approach, James can actually play right centre back and Gusto right wing back. It would be excellent. I love him, but Gusto will eventually become our left back when James returns, possibly. And we should have them both start. Actually, we don't need to waste them. Gusto at left back with James at right back. That's fire. I want to see that. In the building, Gavin, nice to see you. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. I hope you're doing well. And I really, really do want to give away membership for free, but I can't do it. Every time I click it, maybe because I'm the owner of the channel here. Yeah, I can't. Even if I click it, all I see is super chat and super sticker. For the membership thing, I can't see anything as the owner. There are some people I want to, even though I hate the beautiful game, I really want to give them a membership so that I didn't want to give him more power to come fight me even more. I want him up when we do membership shows so that he's not there and be coming at me as he wants. Good win. Yeah, good win indeed. Gavin, I appreciate you joining. In January, let's see what else we have here. Chan is mid. Okay, I'll slug it out with him. He has a good game. He was the best. I agree. Let's see. And Liverpool are short in that area after Trent relocation, and City have extended Walker, but he would be a more than adequate replacement. Two more man of the match performances in January could be tricky. Two more man of the match performances from who? Let's see. Yes, we need a left back in January, and then other teams will. Okay. Well, after we find different weaknesses in our team, I want us to sign Theo Hernandez, in my opinion. And CFC Gavin, it was good change when. Okay. Please go check out CFC Gavin's YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. Let's help him grow. We have a lot of young developing players enough. I think we should only look to sign world-class players from now on. And good luck. Do you think they do that? Not every player is world class. Gusto is world class in my opinion. Still has a lot to prove, but you could argue he has the potential to become a world class. That's how I'd phrase it, but that's just me. It's telling Tiger relax. Managers of all the top clubs do not see our players the way we view them. If we don't respect our elites, their heads will be turned by the flattening of other clubs. And the media will stir the pot too. I think I agree with you. For instance, I'm hearing, I've heard people condemning Matson just because the manager has played them in a position that's not traditionally where he plays. And plus, he's not played for a while, and the people were expecting him to play as good as maybe Cole Palmer in an attacking role. I don't think that makes sense, in my opinion. We are glad to have Gusto so we can manage Reece James's time, and maybe he will be better like this. And also, don't underestimate Gusto. He will cook. He's cooking already. The question is, what is he cooking? Nice to see you again, Magic Man. The midfield is not good enough. Gallagher and Casado wouldn't start for the top six clubs. But they are good enough for Chelsea. What sign to behold in the gutter down on the 11th? Embarrassing. Here's the thing: until we'll have everybody back, I don't think Casado will be the guy playing in the you could say fulfilling the sitting six role. Anybody else on the panel want to speak about Malo Gusto before we move on?
Yeah, I would say Gusto is actually a really good player, but to give him that world class tag or badge is too premature. It's too early. I think that he has a lot more work to do. I think we even gave Reece James that world class tag a bit too early. Now that we saw that his inconsistencies and injury, I think that now that he has, so I think Gusto is very good. I mean, the fact that he can play both on the right and the left, man, I'm pleased on that. I mean, because we haven't had Chilwell in a long time. So I mean, he may not take Reece James' spot, but he could definitely take Chilwell's spot if I had to say. So I mean, yeah, he's very good. I like the way he plays that move that he did. He tried it once, the flick and the turn. He tried it and then it wouldn't connect. But then the second one, it connected a little bit better than because what's his name? Nkuku knew it was coming. So once he did it, yeah. So and then he went straight to the left. See what happens when players continue to run. Who was to say if he stopped the ball that play didn't happen, that goal didn't come. But he continued to run to the open space and it came off and it created a chance at goal.
That was some run, really, from the
It was a
right hand
beautiful run
side
to the right to the whole left.
to
And
the
he
whole
continued to
left,
move
and
his
then
feet.
provided an assist. Go ahead.
Like, what? That's beautiful. That's called worth ethic. That's called drive. That's just being hungry to prove yourself to the fans, to everybody. So I'm very pleased with Gusto, but I don't give him the world class badge yet. But he's
And
working
here's the thing, just quickly, Tiger. Unfortunately, I'm gonna be on the side of Showtime this time. I'd go with him and say he has the potential to become world class. So I'm sorry, Tiger, but you're still my best friend there. But go ahead, Showtime.
Yeah, I mean that's all I had to say. But I have to run because it's work time. But I appreciate you for having me on. Big ups to all you guys.
I appreciate you
Up the
even more for
Chels.
finding the time to join us today, bro. And
Long live
man, we should always
Abramovich.
chat behind the scenes. So we don't you can say via the DMs on X. We
Yeah,
don't have to wait until you come onto the show because you're
for
my
sure.
bro.
Yeah, up the Chels. Big
Up
up
the shows,
Marina
bro.
Granovskaya. Big up Roman Abramovich. Up the Chels. Later.
All right, bro. See you later. And
Big up.
apart from the chance that Jackson missed, he was fantastic yesterday. Fans should give the guy a break, and he's a natural winger. And and I have to say that he didn't even play half a whole, I can say a whole half a season. Correct me if I'm wrong. At Villarreal, he was converted from a winger to a striker. He did well, and maybe that was why we signed him as a striker. But for me, I think we should judge that guy fairly. He has more to his game. He's a good dribbler. He can control the ball very well, but I think you could say he comes across as somebody who's very emotional, who can be triggered emotionally, or you could say, and I don't blame him. He's just 21. Every little thing seems to get to him. But on his day, when he's high in confidence, he scored even the most difficult goals. But my point is, I've said this 1,000 times. Let Jackson be Jackson, and we'll get the best out of him. That is just my opinion. I think there's more to him. Play him in the 10 role where he operates as a second striker or even on the flanks. I think he would do well for us. He's capable of doing that. Can good hold up play from him. He created 2 excellent chances yesterday. Then the players that got at the end of the chances missed it. But I'll come back, then we'll start talking about Jackson right now. Gusto, the style in which a work of art is executed. Yeah, I agree with you. He's such an artist in terms of his footballing approach. I have just heard that Luton are looking forward to play us from their fans because of weaknesses in our set piece. So please, once I hear that, I will take and assure you we'll win in that game. Yeah, once I hear teams being confident about playing us, usually we win that game. Job Cowell against Luton put the Sassi right back, Gusto in the left back position. Let's see what the manager does. I can't predict anything right now, but I'll still do a predicted lineup anyway. So let's look at Nicholas Jackson and Bobby. I'm gonna start. Let's start with Steve O because I started from the other hand. Time. Let's see. Jackson played 90 minutes. He's 22. We talked about that in a bit. Total shots won. Accurate passes 25 out of 29, 86%. Chances created 2, and we did talk about that. 2 excellent chances. Which one was for Nkunku, and the other one was a flick for Mykhailo Mudryk that he couldn't chip the goalkeeper. The first touch was a bit too heavy, so before he got to the ball to chip the goalkeeper closed him down, closed down the space, so he doesn't have enough space to chip him. The other one was an excellent pass to Nkunku. I think he was impeded, in my opinion, but I have to look at it again. So he created two excellent chances and did well overall. And I like it that he actually likes to drop back and contribute defensively. Yep, expected goals 0.64, expected goals on target 0.93, expected assists 0.05, and fantasy point, we don't need that. Shot accuracy, I think he didn't try any. That's what we're seeing there. Big chances missed one. Yeah, of course. Touches 36. Touches in opposition box one. Passes into the final third. One, he lives there. So accurate long balls, 1 out of 1, 100%. Offside three times. Dispossessed one time. Non-penalty XG 0.64. We've looked at that, so no need. Tackles 1 out of 1. Clearances 1. Headed clearances 1. Defensive actions 2 in total. Recoveries 7. Wow. Dues 1, 3. Dues lost 5. Ground dues 1, 2 out of 3. Area dues 1 out of 5. And the guy is tall. So that one is really poor in my opinion. I hope he improves aerially. That has been his Achilles heels, for lack of a better language. Let's hear you. Let's start with you, Bobby. Nicholas Jackson. For me, I knew you weren't happy with him during. I think was it the post game show? Where did you speak? That actually first time show. You spoke about how he fluffed the chance scoring opportunity he got. But to me, beyond that, I think he had an excellent game yesterday. But let's hear you, Bobby. You there, Bobby? All right, Bobby, looks like we're going to move on. When you come back, you have to wait for whoever that's speaking to finish, so we're not going back and forth like that. Let's hear you, Tiger Beast. Let's hear you, Nicholas Jackson. What do you think?
Yeah, coach. I mean, you have actually summarized it very aptly and very well. I personally think I've said a lot about Nicholas Jackson. Uh, and yesterday, and I, I I can't believe I'm saying this, but I liked him when he was pressing, and I liked him when he was dropping deep. I personally think he can be a very good defender, and yeah, but the striking ability, it's not there for a striker. Uh,
Mhm.
for at least for us, and that's very clear because we are looking for a striker. So yeah.
All right, anybody else there who else want to speak about Nicholas Jackson or any other player? You go ahead. We can look at the players' numbers if you want us to.
I felt
Okay,
like Jack. I
go
felt like
ahead.
I felt like Jackson wasn't bad. Just like you said, Coach. The truth is, um, unfortunately, in his role, which is as a striker, you're judged based off the number of goals you put into the net. Nobody is really going to, apart from those of us who are fans, no one is going to do what you did, coach, in terms of like sitting down to really analyze how many touches, recoveries. People are just going to be like, how many goals did he score? Okay, none. He played shit. But that actually doesn't justify what he did yesterday. Even though I usually get onto him a lot, I feel like he actually was decent yesterday. I feel like he was very decent in terms of his hold up play in the first half was excellent. That wasn't even decent. That was excellent because he was holding up the ball very well and bringing in Nkunku, bringing in Mudryk. It reminded me of preseason. I don't know how many of us tuned into a lot of our preseason games, but seeing how he played in preseason and seeing how he played yesterday, it reminded me so much of preseason in terms of the fluidity between the three of them. And obviously, like I said earlier on in the on this stream, the when it I kind of like feel like at second half the moment Nkunku got tired because Nkunku was actually that gel that was making
Mhm.
all of them play well. The moment Nkunku dropped off in terms of his performance, everyone was affected. And taking Gusto off the right wing to the left wing, that also affected us attacking wise. So a lot of things just kind of like went stagnant in the second half, but still, he still had the goal which he scored, which was offside by his knee. and then he had obviously the big chance which he missed. But apart from that, I feel like his game was, and like if I'm allowed to rate him, I would rate him as like a 7 approaching 7.5, which is very decent, over 10 obviously. So that's my opinion about Jackson and his performance yesterday.
Yeah, anybody else on the panel want to speak about Nicholas Jackson yesterday? I think he was good. Bobby, you there? I don't know if you're interested in speaking about him. Okay, otherwise I'm gonna keep getting what we have in the chat. We'll be rounding up in a few minutes. Yep. Okay. Let's see. They're saying Magic Man. You said top 6. Let's see what else we have here. Axel Cowell. Chaloba, Gallagher, Masson, Kukurea, Jackson, Enchuo. These are very mediocre players. Cash in on them now so we can win the league next season. Let's see what the club does. It's not up to me to decide, coach. That's literally the meaning of the name Gusto. That's why I said it. Oh. Okay, I see. Chelsea all the way. City wanted Kukurea to start making him an elite player. Chelsea should be comprised of top-level players, not mid sloppy players. I think we should mix it up. Jackson is a lot of things, but he's not a striker. Yep. I give him credit for everything he does on the pitch that are good. But we should let Jackson be Jackson, which is don't play him as a number 9. Yeah, he will miss a lot more chances that he becomes an enemy instead of a compatriot, for lack of a better language there. If Jackson take all of its chances, he will be sitting on 21 goals in total. That may well be the case. So, coach, are we gonna twist in by Osimhen Tone, or are we going to stick and wait for Jackson to bang it? I think we'll sign another striker who, I don't know.
Please buy
And his
Osimhen.
thing,
Please buy
I don't think
Osimhen.
it's not going to be Tone. That's because rumors are that Arsenal are closing in on Tone. Go ahead. Were you saying something?
Yeah, I mean, I just want us to sign Osimhen and then sleep on the striker business for like 4 or 5 years. No strikers. Just sign Osimhen and then sleep on the strikers. One signing for 5-6 years, we are done in the striker department. Not gonna have any worries. Let Jackson develop if he can develop into a big signing. Let Broya develop if he can develop into a big striker. And we have Nkunku already. So just sign Osimhen and sit and relax and see the magic happen in 5 years. And I mean, I don't get signing a Victor Gyökeres. Now we are off the deal. I hope so. Or signing an Antonio Nusa or some wonder kid, and then again experimenting and expecting them to perform like some Osimhen or some Haaland. That's just
I don't know if
repeating the
anyone
same
has been
mistakes.
paying attention to Boniface in Leverkusen.
He's an excellent striker too.
He's also Nigerian as well.
I know.
Personally speaking, I feel like
What's the
Boniface
price?
more we don't know yet, because I think he just joined. Personally, in summer, so he's not going to be leaving in January for sure. Probably
There's
in
also
summer.
Gurasi. Gurasi is another excellent, experienced player. Probably maybe he's beyond the age limit. Gurasi, I think, is beyond 25. He's older than 25, but he's an excellent finisher too.
Boniface is just 22, coach, and I feel
Yeah, I'm
like
talking about Gurasi.
oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, another good player in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, I agree with you in terms of like our recruitment people could be like he's above whatsoever, but he's also Gurasi is also a good striker. But in terms of Boniface, I feel like Boniface is a more complete striker than Osimhen. And when I say more complete, I mean obviously there might be things Osimhen can do better than Boniface, which is no doubt. But like I feel in terms of a Premier League striker and how our team plays, I feel like we are more suited to Boniface in terms of like somebody who is actually gonna hustle the ball, go back and create from nothing. Osimhen barely does that. Even though sometimes he does it, Boniface hustles the ball more, creates from nothing, assists, and is equally clinical. But I feel like Osimhen is better than him in terms of using his head. But Boniface uses his head much better than Jackson, Broya, but like Osimhen, that for me is the one. Osimhen is like heads and shoulders better than Boniface using his head. But in terms of clinical ability, they are very similar. And in terms of being involved in the play, because that's one thing which I give Ivan Tony over Osimhen. Tony goes back to hustle the ball and create chances from nothing. Anybody who watched Brentford last season would agree with me in terms of this. Tony did that so much. So and I feel like the way Chelsea plays, we need a striker who is like that. We can't just get a striker who is going to sit down and wait for the ball. Diego Costa was literally like the profile I'm talking about. Costa would go hustle the ball, create stuff from nothing. We don't have the ability. I feel like the players we have right now, fortunately, even though some of them have tremendous ability, we don't have like we don't have like someone like a Fabregas who is going to give pinpoint assists straight to your leg. So sometimes you
We
need
haven't.
carry.
I would, yeah. I would
No, you,
just like to disagree that we don't have a creator engine. I personally think if Enzo and people would say I'm an Enzo fanboy, and I have no issues with being an Enzo fanboy. I personally think if Enzo is played at the position he should be played in, he gets some very creative passes for the striker, and he can change the line and change the game. Even Thiago Silva is very good at breaking the lines with some line breaking passes. I personally would like to confess that I have not seen much of Boniface, and brother, you could be very right. But I'm just scared right now at this point, and I just want us to sign a striker. Here is what I think about strikers, right? I personally think you can teach a striker. A manager can inculcate a striker with the skills of dropping deep, pressing hard, maybe coming down the line and collecting the balls. All this can be preached. A manager cannot teach a striker to look for goals when there is no goal, to convert those half chances. That's something that comes naturally to you. That's something that Haaland has. That's what I've seen Osimhen doing in Napoli and in Champions League. So I'm banking my stocks on Osimhen just because I've seen that lad banging some goals that were never able. You can never imagine a striker banging those goals. He will just you know, throw his body like Haaland sometimes to create some goals. And I just want that kind of striker who is very instinctive, who always looks for a goal. So yeah, I personally think he can learn all that dropping deep, all that searching for the balls, all that link up play, all that can be learned. But you cannot teach a striker, that instinct to search for goals and bang that in the back of the net. So yeah, I prefer Osimhen over any day, anything, and plus the Champions League experience, the Napoli experience, all that helps.
All right, just quickly, this says Chelsea. We've read that one, and thank you again, my good friend. And I'm gonna say, heard my complaint that I just can't give. If I'm able to give membership away, I think I'd give nearly 100, honestly. Because some people I feel like you can say deserves to be members, and some if I'm able to also like when somebody gives membership away, if I'm able to like assign it to people myself, I'd do that without waste of time. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. We're at 70 likes. We should be doing more than that. Highland and everything else. Highland one goal. Let's just read it. Highland one goal in 15 for 72 million. Imagine if Jackson cost that much money. Oh yeah, Hey Kachila, it's turning out to be a good stream today. It's been an excellent discussion, but I'm a human being. Right now I'm home alone, so I'm gonna be paying attention to me when my boy wakes up. Yep. We will never reach the top with this kind of players. Remember the old Chelsea from back in the old days. It's unfortunately dead. Now these American corporates have taken over. Wow. Okay. And I'm from Jamaica, so yeah, I don't feel that. Hoyland barely gets a service, unlike Jackson. Yeah, and he's opened his account. Preach. Let's see what else we have here. Hoyland barely. I think I've read that one. I don't have to read it again. There's only one world class striker out of all of those mentioned, and that's Osimhen. Thanks for the gift. I think the person will hear it. I'm not going to say who,
Coach,
but her. the person was swallowing, and a friend, and this is not the first time. I think this is the third time. Heard me complain that I couldn't do it and did it. Let's hear you. Go ahead.
Coach,
hmm
go on.
It looks like you're breaking up.
Coach, I, I, I just wanted to say that should we talk about this Asi?
Yeah, we will. We will.
Yeah,
In a bit.
yeah.
But you can go ahead and get started. But let's hear IBZ. I don't know if you watched the game, but more importantly, IBZ, I want to welcome you to the panel. It's a good
Big
sign.
up,
That
bro.
shows that you're recovering well. So I want to celebrate with you. And apologies, I didn't reach out to you during the holidays. But if you've been paying attention, we'll often, usually during the start of shows, talk about you and ask if you're listening. Just know that we're praying for you. And the community, we've all been praying for you. So this is for you. Welcome back to the panel.
Hey, big up everybody.
Big up, my
How's
bro.
everybody? Hope
We're
Big up,
everyone
happy.
had
bro.
a
We're happy
lovely
to see you.
Christmas. You get me? Big up Steve O in the chat. Big up the panel.
Big
Big
up
up
to you.
yourself,
Big up,
coach.
bro. Big up, bro. Much love.
Yeah, man. Where do we begin? Yesterday was brilliant, by the way. We got a win. I was a bit annoyed that we kind of took it long, late in the game, but yeah, we got a win. I couldn't care less, to be honest. With the results we've had over the past month, I'll just take 3 points and I'll move from there. Individual performances, it looks like Nkuku is the gel between our attack, trying to link up, and Jackson played very well in linking up. He did very, very well. He dropped deep, linking up, bringing other players into play, and that was very positive to see. I had no complaints really yesterday. Malo Gusto, that drive was absolutely brilliant. I couldn't complain. I was really happy with the performances, and yeah, Petrovic as well, the goalkeeper. So all in all, good win, good performance, and we move. That's how I'll take from the game. I don't want to critique anyone. Noni Madueke coming on as well, doing his bit. Yeah, the players responded. The players responded, played very well.
Yep, and beyond that, brother, how are you recovering after you went out of the knife?
I am very well. I like to say, yeah, guys, look after your body. You only get one life, and don't underestimate it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy to be back. I'm doing the normal basic things I couldn't do, so I'm happy. I'm really, really happy. So yeah, I can't complain. Now I just want Chelsea to get results so I can be, an even happier man. And yeah, we can get some business done in January that can change our season. That's the only thing that can make me perfect now. But yeah, thank you, coach. I'm absolutely well. I'm doing well. I'm grateful to God. Everything's blessed. I'm up and ready. I'm back.
Much appreciated. We're happy to have you back, brother. Hatred, but Havas is actually having a better season than Jackson. In what way? You have to elaborate. I'd like to hear what you have to say there. Yeah, okay, Chimera, indeed. I agree with the panel member. And do you know who would top the league with
XG. On the basis of XG, he means.
Okay, top of the league with XG, it's us, yeah. But we're 10th, and that's because we've not been clinical. And if we're being true to ourselves, if we've been clinical, had we been clinical, we'd be better positioned in the table right now. But we've not been. So that's actually simply, it's common sense. That highlights what we need to do to get better. I want a striker with no allergies, a striker that is not allergic to tap-ins, long shots, and the 6-yard box. I need a striker that doesn't target the poor fans in Rosie and hates. Wow, you're not going to heaven, my friend. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. And yes, IBZ. I forgot to call him like that.
Come on.
Much love.
Big up.
Much love.
Hey, sorry. On the topic of strikers, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Coach, do you remember when I joined your panel for the first time? And this was like Tuchel's. It was like May before the new season, before Bowley and that came in. I mentioned one striker. I mentioned him in the summer that we should get, but unfortunately, he's going to Leipzig. His name's Benjamin Sesko.
The rumors are actually we're backing for him. We're scouting him.
I would like those rumors to suffice, and I would like those rumors to be implemented. That guy yeah, in my humble opinion, is the truth. I don't want Victor Osimhen just signed a new contract. And who's going to activate that release clause in January if he just signed a new contract in December? I mean, who does that? Now, if we do need a striker, we need one now in January. And I will just put all my money towards Benjamin Sesko. He's young, perfect height, good on his feet, an absolute clinical finisher. That is it. I don't want to hear any other opinion from anyone that this guy, Benjamin Sesko. That is
How
it.
many goals he have scored?
I mean, Kier, that guy is the truth. That guy is the truth, my bro. He scored
Yeah.
enough goals for Leipzig.
Scored enough
He
goals
is the
for
truth.
Leipzig.
He scored enough goals for Leipzig
And
for him
he's done it
at his
consistently
age.
for a few seasons right now.
Exactly,
Right?
and for him to come to Chelsea and start the work from there, he's better than all the strikers we have. I think he'll be a perfect link up with Nkuku coming up at the end of the crosses.
Ibs, how good is he on his feet? Because I really don't. I know he's very good with his head.
He's very good. He's very good at his feet for his height as well. For a big
Yeah,
guy,
he's
like
really
he's very
tall.
good on his feet.
Very
So I believe if I've always had a marquee. I've always had a type of striker that I would like to get. A 6 foot big guy that can just bully defenders, get on the end of crosses, good at his feet, and just a clinical finisher. And I believe he will fit that mold. And if the board are going hungry for a striker, and all these names I'm seeing, what's his name? How do you pronounce it? Gyökeres? How do you say it?
Victor Gyökeres.
That guy.
Is it Gyökeres?
Gyökeres. I feel
I
so.
think he's got. I've seen his stats a bit. I think he's good. I'm not moved by his. Maybe because of his age. How old is he?
25.
He was at Coventry as well. He did a madness in the championship, but that's
okay. Yeah, look again.
But
if
100
they're gonna
million,
get
no?
someone, they're gonna
That's
get a
the
striker.
problem.
My ideal guy will be Benjamin Sesko. I don't know how you price him away from Leipzig. Maybe you pay upwards on a premium for him. Like maybe just slap it, 80 million, 90 something. But that's just who I would like to see at Chelsea, man. I don't know how to promote this guy enough. I promoted him when I first come on this. I promoted him all over Chelsea streams. This guy. Watch this guy. I hope he comes to Chelsea, man. I really do, man. It's him. I believe it's him. No one else.
Here's a message for you. Saying hope all fixed for you, IBZ. This Constantine Dante, because the community knows you went under the knife, so we've been concerned, but at the same time praying for you.
Love Constantine.
Yeah. And Rich Money saying, wish your health gets better to the new member. He's not a new member, he's an OG here, but been very busy and know how you feel because I have a serious autoimmune disease that causes loads of issues. But this illness has made me stronger. Yep, you have to face it, and when there are no other ways out, there are no ways out. You just face it, and if you stay strong, you survive it. But good advice from IBZ: take care of yourselves, and that's deep. Before he says that, you know exactly what he went through. So much love to you, IBZ, and sorry to hear about your station situation, Rich Money Makers. Sesko, I forgive you. Must still not be that well. It's his opinion anyway. Let's keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. I mean, Constantine Dante will go to hell. That's what I mean. Tony Tiger, what? Tiger Beast. You said we should look at who? Tiger, what player did you mention?
Disasi, not disaster. Disasi.
Axel Disasi. I don't know why he's rated 7.2. I think he made a few
I
mistakes, but he was
understand it.
excellent defensively. So let's look at his numbers here before I let you speak in a bit, if you don't mind. He played 90 minutes, accurate passes 72 out of 87, 83%. Okay, touches 100, passes into the final third, 7. That's a high for a defender. Accurate crosses, he didn't attempt any. Accurate long balls, 2 out of 10. Woo. That's poor, really. 20%. Dispossessed 1 time. Tackles 1, 3 out of 3. Clearances 3 in total. Headed clearances 3. Defensive clearances, defensive actions 6 in total. Recoveries 3. Duels 1, 6. Duels lost 2. Ground duels 1, 4 out of 5. That's fine. That's excellent, actually. Aerial duels 1, 2 out of 3. That's excellent too. Was fouled 2 times. For me, the long balls, wow, 20%, 2 out of 10. Maybe, but let's hear you, Tiger.
Yeah, so coach, this is my problem, right? The time you were reading the stats, right? If you read the stats about Disasi, nothing much scares you, or nothing much actually intrigues you, or makes you feel that he is a bad player, or he has had a bad match. But in the last 4 5 games, I'm seeing outrage against Disasi, and I personally cannot understand. Sometimes I also even feel that he is not fitting in the system, and he's making our defense shaky, and he's not contributing enough. And even a Chalova would be better than Excel Disasi, but then the numbers are not in line. So I want to hear the other panel members, and especially the chat, and especially your opinion on how should we assess Disasi, because I'm not able to assess Disasi because the numbers say something else and the visual images say something else.
Personally
Yes, then,
speaking,
and that highlights the reason why it's important to always not just rely on eye test alone or maybe numbers alone. I think they each complement each other. You see something and you feel like that's what it is. You look at the numbers, and numbers may tell you that's not it. There's more to it. And then you look at the numbers alone. Eye test will tell you no. This comes across as, you say this is these numbers are deceiving. But here's the thing. He's a good defender. I like him, but why I'm not going to go to the extent of saying he's been poor of late is that all our defenders have all been poor. The only standout player yesterday was this Malo Gusto. Corwell made a mistake. Badiashile made, I think, 2-3 times. The Sassi up to 5 times, in my opinion. Thiago Silva, even when he came on, nearly cost us a goal. So this is not the time to actually single out an individual in our defensive line and start a point, you could say, saying the poor, given how badly they played of late. Because yeah, it's a team sport, but once a player, you can say the poor performance of a player can trickle down to others. You can say impact the performances of other team members for lack of a better way to get my point across. I don't know if anybody else on the panel wants to speak about this. See, I'm not concerned really. If you're there, Steve.
Yeah, there's not really. I mean, yeah, with him, I just believe he's soon gonna bed in. Just let him bed in. And you see the guy. Yeah, I can understand. Maybe he might be rough on the edges a little bit. But yeah, man,
he's
I
been
don't
played
really.
out of position almost every other game. Like
Yeah, like I think he's
scapegoat on
competent.
the right wing.
Yeah, and that doesn't help too. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I don't have any problem with it.
When he makes some of those stats which you read out, coach, just like I know you guys would agree as well. A lot of them came from when he was on the right wing. It's the same way some of them also came when he was playing as a centre back. It's a combination of everything. That's why he starts, for example, like long shots, the long passes and certain things were not as like high as they should be. But regardless, I feel like Eve said, this is somebody who is just settling in. Apart from Badiashile, who came in. Did Badiashile come in January? Or I think Badiashile came in summer. Disasi is our newest defender. Like every other person in the back line has been in Chelsea for a bit. Even Malo Gusto, I think Malo Gusto came. Oh yeah, Malo Gusto came in summer. Yeah, he came the same time as Disasi. So like he's still settling in, and I feel like he's getting a lot of backlash for no reason when he's still settling in. And I feel like he's gonna show a lot. Like once he settles in and once he's played where he should be played, I would really like to see Poch stop this whole gimmick of playing centre backs as fullbacks. Play Gusto as the right back. If at all you don't want to play Gusto as the like, there shouldn't be any reason. Play Gusto as the right back and play Madsen as the left back. It's not so difficult. Like it's not.
But then I would like to throw this question to the panel, to the chat, especially, and to the coach. Why are we looking for centre backs again in the market, like the likes of Diamande or someone like a Jonathan Tah?
Silva is leaving, in it. We're not trying to renew Silva's contract after summer, and Chalobah most likely I believe in as well. Fofana is injury prone, and so there's a lot.
Maybe that's the reason. Yeah. I personally think that the Excel Disasi is not rated enough, but I may be wrong. I mean, I hope him well, but let's see. He has been facing a lot of backlash on Twitter. That's why I wanted to highlight him on this panel
It's
because I
indifferent with
really am very confused
because I
about
think what
Excel Disasi.
people are expecting because of he's probably played at a side in Monaco and probably what the captain. There's an
Yeah,
expectation that he should be more polished than he's showing. Obviously, people are eradicating the fact that he just needs time to settle in and probably been paid out of positions a few times in which he's been asked to maintain that same level of performances. I don't think he's been horrible. I think he's just been competent enough. There's more to come from the kid, and I think we'll be in for a good signing. I really don't think we should panic or worry about it. Not everything's black and blue, but
yeah,
give
and
him
he
time.
and he and he adds that height we need that Poch talks about.
Yeah. You can see he's committed. He's very committed. He has a lot of strength that we do need at the back as well. So yeah, I think it's onwards and upwards with him. I don't really see any red flags in which I'll be like, oh, who, again, these are new signings from this season. I can't start critiquing them 6 months into their time and saying they need to leave. So
Yeah,
it's just all
yeah,
about seeing how they bed in and how it works out for
yeah,
everyone when all the players are back and how we can form a chemistry and see how it moves from there.
yeah, yeah. True, agreed.
Yeah, big up IBZ from JC in the house. And Constantine then says, I don't need the gates open yet, coach. It's getting referrals. I heard, don't reference me, please. I don't want to. You enjoy it alone. Don't drag me into that place like it's looking like you and a beautiful game would do. He needs more coaching by Silva and the coaches. Maybe that will help a lot. And yeah, let's see what else we have here. Even the English Maguire has improved, so we cannot really make any comments or judgments. But that's, by the way, I don't think we'll have anything else to talk about. Does anyone on the panel has anything else they want to talk about, or any player you want us to look at their numbers? Let's just look at Gallagher's numbers for the sake of it.
Lavia too,
Um,
coach. I think he has been
okay,
brilliant.
but Lavia's will be difficult because he didn't start. But we'll
Yeah,
check it.
yeah,
We'll
yeah.
check. Yeah, I think he still have a few. Gallagher played 19 minutes. Accurate passes, 77 out of 87, 89%. I think that's what it is there. Chances created two. One of them was delicious for Nicholas Jackson. I think, was it Nicholas Jackson? Was it for Nicholas Jackson or for Ian Martin? I can't quite remember.
It was for
Uh,
Jackson. The one that Jackson missed the
Jackson.
Oh, was
open.
it for Jackson? Okay.
Yeah.
Touches 116. Successive dribbles 2 out of 2. Passes into the final third, 9 in total. Accurate crosses 1 out of 4, 25%. That's poor. Accurate long balls 2 out of 5. You can say that's good, but could do better. Corners taken 3 in total. Dispossessed 2 times. Defense 2 out of 2. Tackles 1. Blocks 1. Clearances 1. Interceptions 1. Defensive actions 7, recoveries 9. I'm not surprised at that. Dribbled past 1 time, duels 1, 8 duels lost 5, ground duels 1, 7 out of 12, 58%, not bad. That's actually good. Aerial duels 1, 1 out of 1. Anything else was fouled 3 times, and the others. I think he had an excellent game, in my opinion. You can say he did very well, in my opinion. And if you're watching, if you have anything else to add to that particular game, or if you're on the panel, go ahead. Otherwise, we'll call it a day because we've been streaming for 3 hours plus.
Yeah, man, big up, man. Thanks for having me on again, man.
More thanks
Yeah.
to you, brother.
Thanks
Sincerely
for
do
having me,
appreciate you.
coach.
But coach, just one last question
Mhm.
before we go.
Mhm.
Do you think Gallagher starts after everyone is fit? Because I personally would prefer in a 4-2-3-1. I'm a
Do,
big Gallagher supporter. I won't say I am a Gallagher fanboy and I want him to stay over every odds. I personally think I have made myself clear. Like if you give someone an armband, you don't sell them the next window. But all that aside, I personally think Lavia and Enzo right now. Just one game, Lavia. Yes, I'm jumping the gun, but I think that lad is the six we needed, and Enzo
yeah,
has
it's
to
the
start.
6 we needed. Yeah.
So Enzo and Lavia starts for me any day when everyone is
So
fit.
your question is, do I think Gallagher starts?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm going to say something. I think we've actually talked about that. Gallagher is different. Gallagher,
Yeah.
let me just phrase it this way. Gallagher cannot be Moses Caicedo, and Moses Caicedo cannot be Gallagher. Gallagher cannot be Lavia, and Lavia cannot be Gallagher. Gallagher cannot be Enzo Fernandez, and Enzo Fernandez cannot be Gallagher. He's just different. What he
Yeah.
offers, you don't have in those players. There
Yeah.
might be,
True.
yes, all of them you could say are more technically gifted than him. But the
Mm-hmm.
energy, the commitment, the ball winning ability, and everything, none of them can offer that. And you can see
Yeah,
the
that's true.
manager likes that. He appreciates that and has started him week in, week out. As long as he's fit enough to play, he plays. And I'm going to say this, I've said it 1,000 times. He's not even my favorite player at Chelsea. I'm not going to say he's the worst either. I know there's a good player in him, and he can only get better, especially under Pochettino. Do I think we can do better than him? I'd say yes. But right now, we have to respect him and give him credit and give credit where one is due. He's been one of our best players since the start of the season. And I don't see Pochettino dropping him for any of those players we've mentioned. He will find a way to drop one of those players and still play Gallagher. Until that happens, right now I don't think it will happen. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, yeah. I understand. Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else on the panel has anything else to say?
Nothing to add,
And
coach. Nothing to add, bro.
nothing to add. All right. So if you can type something, if you can type something quickly in the chat, Tiger, let me make you a mod now that I remember, or because I don't have the
Big
URL
up.
of your YouTube this thing. Katila, 2 players, Mudryk and Gusto. If you look at their numbers on amount of times lost possession, you will see a subjectiveness of statistics on Mudryk, but lost post passes, trying to move ball forward or trying to dribble. Yeah, I know that. But I sometimes you look beyond those things, or you can say I test and numbers complement each other. You don't just go by one and be correct, except if you're too sure. But one was called out for it, other man of the match. Yeah, I don't do that, but I understand where you're coming from. Great show again, and I will be back with more history lessons. Yeah, you didn't give us more. You said too many history lessons today. 2 Chains, I'm different. Let's see what else we have. Yep, Nakachila, energy, ball winning ability. Caicedo cannot offer that. Yeah, that's you being more specific. But you understand where I'm coming from. They differ. 2 Chains, yeah. Let's see. I just want our players to give a continuation of when deserved. Mudryk and Makalele, Madueke, so to speak. I'm tired, man. Play them. Try and stick to one a particular 11 for a long time. Or if one form drops off, then make the changes. But we are circulating too much. Too often. I think I agree. JC is called the round and round system. With that, we've come to the natural end of the show. I want to say thank you to Bobby, who was here. Ty was on the panel too. The Colette shows to big. Oh, nice to have had you on the panel here. My bro and friend Tiger, I appreciate you. Tiger, have you
Big
typed
up.
in the chat yet?
Oh, sorry, coach. Didn't hear you.
And I was saying you should type something in the chat so that I can make you a mod before we round
Oh,
off
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
The first half against the Palace is the way. Don't change it. Don't fix it. Stop tinkering. And finally, a great big punch out. Just go away. History lesson. Keep our record of not being beaten by Crystal Palace since 2017. That's huge. Actually, big up everyone, and where's Tiger? I've been waiting for Tiger to do that. I don't know. There's a bit of delay.
Just it.
I was gonna say maybe next show. Let's see. There's a moderator. There you go, Tiger. I need you to have the power there. Let's see. What is no more thanks to you. I appreciate you, brother. Big up, chat and coach and a great stream. Yep, I enjoyed myself. I like interacting with you guys, but boy, I am tired. Poch out, coach out, and Constantine Dente out also. Say they can offer energy, desire, ball winning. I haven't seen that yet at Chelsea. If anything, he's played differently the way he played at Brighton. He's more should I say, conserved, not energetic as I've known him to be. He will get there, and probably because the role he's playing at Chelsea is different, in my opinion. But I know we've signed an excellent player in him. I'm not saying he's bad. Let's catch our trend. Yes, people. Thank you so much. It's been an excellent show. Constantine Dante, much love to you. And Chimera, nice to see you. Jay-Z, much love to see you. The beautiful game, the guy I love to hate. But see you guys next time. God bless us all. And apologies if I miss your name. And bye.
Up the shells.
Up the Charles.